Welcome back to the Door of Doom. We were in the Master Macabre's maze. He put us in the maze with the rest of his scarred-up patients, of which we only found one. But we are assured that there are many others, and they want to kill us, even though they have been kind of absent. We're at the final door that we have to open to escape the maze, in which we move pegs around to try to match the colors. And I spent a few minutes on this last time, and, well, you saw, ran out of time and I died. I bled to death, because Peter Gray's in the middle of dying. So, while we were off stream, I just spent a little bit of time and solved the door. I don't actually know how I solved the door. I just moved pegs around until eventually the colors matched and then I opened the door. So, I can't actually do it for you right now, as I don't know what the moves were to do it. But I did, and the evidence is, I'm going to load a game, is right after opening the door, we just get booted out to the overworld map. So there's like nothing actually on the other side of this. This is actually the exit. So after solving this, I went to the overworld map and went back to Shadow Lair because we are dying. You can see on the bottom left it says 10 minutes. Well, I made it back to Shadow Lair with 1:47 remaining. Plenty of time. So, of course, here is the Liquid Dark that will heal Peter Gray of his wounds. Let us do so. You immerse yourself in the cool liquid. As the darkness surrounds you, you enter a state of drug-like euphoria. We know this. Somewhere in the back of your mind, you remember that the Liquid Dark, restoring your health, recharging the Noctropolis, and Liquid Dark Grenade. As is usual.
Don't you know who I am, Shadow Man?
Oh no! It's the Drelmer! We've been waiting this whole game for his appearance. Sure I do. How could I not recognize the Drelmer's head on Stiletto's body?
You lie, Shadow Man, but I'll tell you true. I'm the master of dreams. Your dreams.
Also, do not call Peter Gray Shadow Man. Shadow Man is much cooler. What do you want with me?
Entertainment. It's no use fighting it. I'm in control now.
Oh no, well, that manual we read last time said the Drelmer could enter your dreams. So maybe currently we're asleep in the Liquid Dark, and he has taken control. I'm gonna assume, but let's look around. Bibbed by purple ruffles, the creepy clown sporadically blinks one of its bulging, swollen eyes, while an oozing secretion of saliva drips from between a jostling number of sharpened teeth. Oh, you don't want your teeth to be jostling. That's a bad thing. Stylized in an expression of insane delight, the hysterically demented figure seems absurdly happy at the prospect of eating you whole. Whoa, bucket. It's a can of unopened paint. Should I take? That seems just kind of odd for it to just be there. It's so mundane. I picked up the can of paint, though not real paint. I guess it's dream paint. Doesn't actually exist, right? Stylistically constructed to resemble a Jack-in-the-Box, the funhouse is frighteningly overshadowed by its looming spring-loaded clown. Wildly fanciful, the metal letters declare that the funhouse is Jack's property. Fitted with a hexagonally gabled roof and topped by a host of metallic spires, the ash-black booth stands like a dark sentinel against the backdrop of the deserted amusement park. Alright, let's look at the Drelmer. Oh no, we can't look at the Drelmer, but I'm sure we can talk to him.
Now you're in my world, Shadow Man.
Gasp. How can such a thing be? Is this a thing here? No, it's set within the ground. The sunken fixture bizarrely lights the park's attraction from an unconventional direction. From below. So unconventional. Alright. Should I go in the mouth? I mean, it seems like the place to go. Here we go. Alright. Let's look at this guy right here. Presumingly unwilling to yield to its presently submerged fate, the giant clown has been freakishly entombed within the tiled floor in mid-scream. Fun! Architecturally lined on one side by a colonnade, the arched hallway progresses into inscrutable darkness. Harshly lighted from the wall above, the enigmatic black canvas catches the illumination in a milky patch of reflection. An expanded rectangular sliver vertically punctuates the tower's base. Can I get the clown? I cannot take it. What about his nose? No. Can I go in his mouth? Yeah? Oh, okay. Oh, it's like we're actually in his mouth. I didn't really expect that. Alright, it's a pleasant place here. Roughly textured and creased down its center, the tongue is coated with glistening saliva. Apparently forgotten, a stray dental pick has been overlooked atop a lower molar. It's not something you forget. Let me take the pick. Let me pick up the rusty dental pick. Pendantly suspended, the fleshy lobe reacts accordingly to the mouth's exhalation of breath. The mouth's roof, but the mouth's roof is unattractively corrugated by wrinkles of crinkled flesh. Covered by veined membrane and undulated into stretched sections, the mouth's fleshy walls are thick with saliva. There are like hooks holding this open. Pulling uncomfortably at the lip, the curved dental implement of stainless steel maintains the mouth's open aperture. Well, I guess we should probably save. Alright, let's head on in. Oh, no, we cannot go there. We can leave. Is there anything else we should look at? I don't think there is. Alright, we got this hook. This pick. Let's take a look at it. Very large dental pick, about the size of a baseball bat. The pick has been broken off at its end as lodged in and left by a dentist. Can I go into this tower? Oh no! Cryptically displaying a mysterious screaming infant within the crook of its arm, the demon snarls at you, challenging your approach. This oddly looking cartoon demon that looks completely different from the rest of the game. Look at the baby. No, we cannot look at the baby. Can I look at other things? The sacrifice chamber is symmetrically oriented around the low altar, which is faced by green marble and accented by decorative gold ornaments. An elegantly crafted ceremonial stand. A sparkling diamond sits on its stand. A large ivory ring. Clenching a thick ring of ivory between its fangs, the bestial grotesque fiercely overlooks the altar's sacrifice. Oil lamp. Unused oil lamp leans against the wall. Can I get oil lamp? Sure. A horn-shaped lamp full of cooking oil. I assume he's not going to let me take the diamond. It's just an assumption. Or the baby. We could save. Get diamond? The demon eyes you menacingly, changing your mind. Baby? You can't take that. No, just... Alright, what about my inventory? I have this net. No, I cannot throw the net on the demon. I could, like, throw paint in its face. It's as good as an idea of anything. No, it's not. Well, it says that this dental pick is the size of a baseball bat. Why don't we, like, actually be a superhero and try to fight the monster? No, we cannot. We cannot fight the monster. Does the demon want sausage? Demons have to eat too, right? Would using my Noctroglyph actually work? No, I wouldn't think so, but... Can I do something? I mean, does the oil lamp actually have anything in it? I don't see why this would work, but no. Could I try to slash with the meat hook? No. You know, the thing about point-and-click adventure games that we do have to remember is that combat is almost never the solution. Could the clock defeat the demon? No, I didn't think it could. I did not think it could. We could throwing a liquid dark grenade could work. Like, that's an actual item that we have that we use to blind enemies. No, never mind. We cannot do that. I don't see why you would want a scrap of lace. No, I don't think so. Can I talk to the demon? The demon responds with an animalistic snarl. Alright, how about we just leave for the time being, and maybe we'll find something that will make that clear. Fun! Okay, that just leads out here. Can I go in here? The door's boarded up. I'll need something to pry the boards away. Oh, well. I think we could use this dental pick for that. Yeah, we can. Using the dental pick, you methodically strip the intervening boards from the doorway and throw them to the ground. Great. Aglow with candlelight, the thick dome of crystal sits flush upon the table's surface, effectively enclosing the pepper shaker. Do we need to get to the pepper shaker? Well, if I'm looking around for things I can pick up, we see these over here. Matches, they're tossed on the tabletop. Can I get one? Sure, let's pick one up. You pick up a match. What does it say about this match? An impossibly large match, which surprisingly tucks nicely into your pocket. Yes, the classic point-and-click adventure gag of somehow we are fitting large objects into our pockets. All right, let's look around some more. Pierced by a toothpick, a human eyeball trails tendons and stringy musculature in a liquid suspension of blood. Fashioned to fine crystal, the chalice contains chilled blood surrounding a sensuously contorted internal organ. Sensuous. Accented by delicate engraving, the crystal wine glass tastefully displays an intriguing morsel of fleshy tissue. Intriguing. Submerged within the goblet's reservoir of blood, a colony of larvae forms a writhing base for a torn fish head. Its contents recently consumed, the goblet still retains a respectable swallow of sanguine blood. Formed by tapered furrows of crystal and topped by perforated head of silver, the semi-transparent container appears empty of salt. What about this back here? Musefully? Is that a word? Musefully resting upon her ceramic vessel, the ruddy cast of the candle's glow plays across the female's placid features. Oh, there's one more thing over here. Impossibly scaled and finished in gold, the elaborate candlestick supports a trio of lighted candles. And the candles? Steadily burning, the candle's flame projects a composed glow over the tabletop. Formed into a tapered column of amber wax, the candle sweats beads of itself, which collect about its flaming crown. That is the most poetic description of a candle burning. Alright, doesn't seem like there's anything here we could take. Like, we probably can't take, yeah. No. Or, like, any of this. It's too big. Oh, we can look at the napkin. Oh. Lined by a wide border of sanguine silk, the blood-red fold of overlapping fabric drapes downward from the table's edge. I don't suppose I can talk to the statue. No. Well, I don't have my glass cutter anymore, so I can't cut my way in here. I don't know if there'd be anything here that would actually let me do anything here. I do have a match. Maybe I can do something with that match. Let's leave and... Can I go down in here? Can't go there. No. No. So is these two places the only locations I can go to? Perhaps. It's like drool is like spilling down. I doubt there's anything we could do with that. Alright, we have a giant match. What could we do with this? Well, we could always brandish it at the demon and see if he cares. What do you think about this? It doesn't care. He does not care about it. Let's see. Was there anywhere else here that we could go? Well, there's this canvas. Could I, like, splash paint on the canvas? Using paint without a brush is a bit messy. Well, nothing I have here could be used as a brush, really. Could I burn the canvas? Not much use for that here. The oil lamp does not get used here. So, I guess I could potentially use the paint if I had a brush, but where might a brush be? Let's look around. What is this thing up here, by the way? Oddly installed beneath the floating arch support, the chain-mounted scroll encases a rolled screen that may be displayed by drawing it downward. Can I do that? Okay, sure, let's do that. Aha! We found a door. There we go. I mean, in the Drelmer's world, in his Drelm, anything's possible. Where's Peter? I don't see him. Mummified in a tight cocoon of silken thread, the unfortunate victim hangs awkwardly within the spider web. Hey, that rhymes. Suggestively throat-like, the spiny forest bristles with a wicked barbed overgrowth of poisoned thorns. Is it throat-like? I mean, we were just in a place that was a literal throat. The entwined network of cobweb entraps the cavity between the thorn tree's trunk-like extensions, and nothing else. What about down there? Hazy and obscure, the diffused background is permeated by a vague greenish glow. Nothing else is really standing out to look at. Alright. Can I burn these webs? Using the oil from the lamp and the match, you ignite the web. Okay, so that's 2 items used. And what is this? You cautiously pick up the sack of spider eggs. Be careful! A sack of large spider eggs made from the sticky web of a very large spider. Protruding from the sticky sack is what appears to be a holy cross. Okay, holy cross surrounded by spider eggs. Is there some kind of metaphor here? Let me look at the burned body. The smell of burnt flesh assails your nose as you examine the blackened human remains. Guess nothing of interest there. Can I use the egg sac? Probably not. I don't know if anything else here would be of use. There's the net. We could also try meat hook. No. Maybe, I don't see anything else of note, so maybe that's all. No, nothing there. Alright, so maybe that's all we needed to get from here. What if we, went in here and threw the spider eggs down the mouth? That's just, the first use I thought of for it. Bon appetit! No, you can't do that. Alright. A cross surrounded by spider eggs. Well, a demon probably doesn't like a cross. I don't know what the spider eggs have to do with it. Hello, cartoon demon. Take this. You toss the egg sack onto the demon, breaking it open. And we killed it, and the baby. I mean, for all we know, the baby was more dangerous than the demon. It's probably fine. Let's get diamond. You snatch the diamond. A flawless diamond, perfectly cut to a sharp point. Oh, And what could we do with a sharp diamond? What does one do with such a thing? Let us use the diamond to cut glass. Peter Gray is pretty good at cutting glass. It seems to be a skill that he has. Alright, can I open this? Based on the size of the shaker, unscrewing the cap would be impossible for you, not to mention dangerous. Alright, what do I want to do with it then? I can move. Taking the shaker's head, you tip the crystal dispenser on its side, spilling a generous amount of pepper on the polished cherry wood table. Great, we did it. Can I get pepper? Yeah. You scoop up the pepper. Is the pepper giant-sized as well? Like, is the ground peppercorns, like, really big? Or is it just, like, a lot of normal-sized peppercorns in the shaker? I'm not sure. Oh no, they're large, impossibly large pepper grains. Okay, it answered my question. You feel the urge to sneeze and cough just getting close to them. Alright. What might we do with impossibly large pepper? I wonder if we need to find an impossibly large head with which to make it sneeze? What would be the purpose, though? I don't know. Not much use for that. Alright, let's get closer. You know what's coming, big guy. You know what you're getting. Irritated by the dose of pepper, the mouth reacts with a fit of coughing. Great! Covered with spit, the paintbrush was dislodged by the cough and impelled in an arched trajectory to spot near the tongue's tip. No, I cannot get... No, let me get... I now have an expectorated paintbrush. Why did he eat a paintbrush to begin with? I mean, he's a clown. Maybe he was using the tiny brush to get, like, the little details of his face paint, and then just ate it for some reason? Who can say? But we now have a brush. A common large bristled paintbrush, somewhat slimely after being lodged in the giant throat for so long. Alright, let us paint the canvas, but what will we paint? Peter Gray is about to show us his artistic side. What might the imagination of Peter Gray create? A door! Okay. I mean, yeah, okay, sure. It's like a chess piece, but actual tower-sized. Looking for a ground-level entrance, you find none. The window is too high to reach without help. You can't go to the floor. Skeletally styled in a rook motif, the ominous Black Tower's complex infrastructure is defined by lurid internal glow. Gothically shaped. Is that a shape? I know of, like, you know, hexagons, triangles. I'm not aware of the gothogram. The window stabs at the darkness with a horizontal blade of projected light. Is there anything else to look at here? Graphically tiled in checkerboard pattern, the supernaturally smooth plane ranges infinitely outward from the tower's singularity. Alright, any items? Is there anything that would matter for it being like a chess piece? Could we... I mean, I don't see what the net would do. No. Nope. Could we use the meat hook to try to climb up? No. Is it clock time? It is not clock time. Does someone want sausages? No. Okay. Well, I'm not seeing Well, there is an exit, so I guess it could be possible that we might still need to look around the other screens some more. But is there anything around here? Can I open? It does not open. Can I move? That won't move. Can I talk? There's no response from the tower. Can I take it? You can't take that? I suppose there's always the option of just using all of our items. There are some that we've had for a long time now, like the gold token. Remember, we got the gold token at the beginning of the game along with the silver token. We used the silver token to enter Noctropolis, but this gold token has done nothing so far. There's the lottery letter, but what would that do? Detonator? We don't actually have a bomb, so the detonator doesn't seem like it actually does anything so far. Scrap of lace, why would that matter here? Liquid, we don't need to distract anyone with Liquid Arc, so no, I wouldn't think so. Should we read the history of Darkshire at the tower? No. What if there was an elevator and the elevator pass works? No, that could actually be kind of clever if using the elevator pass opens the elevator door at the bottom here, but no, that's not what it does. The logbook? No. I don't even remember what this logbook is now. We tried the meat hook. We cannot do it. It is not sausage time. It is not time for the Noctroglyph. So, not really much anything else to look at here. It doesn't seem like my items can do anything. We can just leave, though, so maybe there's something else that we have to do. I don't think we can, like, go into the background, can we? No, we cannot. Well, this tower is, like, the same shape, isn't it? But what might that mean? Maybe there's something else that we could get. No, does not seem like it. Nothing's really standing out for me to take. There's always move. There's open. This room feels like we might have exhausted it. Doesn't seem like anything is working. I don't see why any of my items would do anything here. But this is the same shape as the other tower. What about this window up here? Piercing the facade of the vaulted antechamber, the arched window projects an angled shaft of pale light. What if we pulled this down again? Right, so there was this, and it didn't seem like there was anything else here for us. None of my items seemed like they would be useful here. Like, I could look around, but it doesn't seem like there's anything... Like, just looking at it, it doesn't seem like there's anything here that stands out. Can we take the man? We cannot. Can we move him? The weapon gives briefly, then springs back resiliently. The corpse bounces for a moment, then stops. Can we open? It doesn't open. It's burned. So I don't... we could choose the meat hook? No. So it doesn't seem like there's anything else here on this room that stands out. So I'm thinking no. That there's nothing here. Can I talk to this clown? The clown's silent scream mocks you. Well, I'm sorry about that. Can we talk to any of these two? No response. No response. Can I do anything with this head? No. No, I wouldn't think so. Looking around the screen, it doesn't really seem like that there's anything for us to take. And we can't go to the ticket booth or past the ticket booth. So nothing's happening there. It doesn't seem like there's anything... You can't shake the we're just looking at ourselves now. You can't shake the feeling that this is all a dream. Nevertheless, you proceed with caution. Can I, look at his drool? No, we cannot. And this is the room with the big, dinner party. Didn't seem like there was anything else to do here. Can I, push this over? No. I don't suppose we need another match. No, you foresee no reason to get another match. It does. So it seems like we probably did what we needed to do here. All right, so I don't suppose there's anything around here that we can go to. I doubt it. So we've done the mouth. Is there anything else we could use? No, we don't have any new items that we haven't tried in the mouth yet. We were in the tower already. Didn't seem like there was anything else to do. Our path led us to the canvas, the two-dimensional images out of a doorway. And of course, once we go inside, then we're here. But there's really nothing for us to look at here. We can look at the tower, but it's all the same thing until we get up to the windows, which stab at the darkness with a horizontal blade of projected light. We can't go to the windows because it's too high to reach without help. Looking for a ground level entrance, we find none. So, this is a dream. We have to think about dream logic. What could possibly work? I thought I might have tried all these already, but if, might as well just do a quick run-through of the items. Just in case. Just in case. Yeah, that was all the items. It doesn't really seem like there's anything else to interact with here. Unless I can, open the floor. I cannot open the floor. Or open the window. Does not open. It seems to be pretty clear that there is no entrance on the ground floor, and we have to find some way to get up to the window. What if we move the window down to the ground floor? No, I mean, it's a dream. Just reach up, grab the window, and pull it down to the ground. Why not? Can I talk to the tower? No. Or the windows? There are no responses from the windows. Or the floor? There is no response. So, seems like all of my options are exhausted here. Okay. So, one of the rooms we've been in probably has something that I missed. There's the tower room that had the cartoon demon. There's Clown Mouth. There's pull down the screen and get to a door to the forest area. There's Big Dinner Party. There's the first screen that we were on, which is right here. So I've been to all of these, and I didn't really notice anything. I don't suppose I can poke him in the eye or something. No, that doesn't work. I don't suppose I can talk? No, I already tried that. Can I, like, go in the mouth and talk to the clown? Probably not. Oh, is there, like, a thing there? What is that? Pendantly suspended... No, that's the uvula. Is that, like, a graphic glitch or something? Maintaining the circumference of the oral canal, the fleshy conduit angles downward into the digestive abyss. Yeah, maybe that's just like a graphic glitch or something, because it's not responding. I could try to get it anyway. We cannot. Anything else to look at? Teeth. They just all look like teeth. The fleshy buffer separates the teeth from the mouth's pharynx cavity. Doesn't seem like there's anything else to do here. What if I talk? No response. No. Can I get tongue? I cannot get tongue. I cannot. Thought maybe there might be something when I saw that in the background, but I guess that's not anything. I keep clicking on it, but it's not doing anything. So I guess it's not. So if there is a room... let's see, that I haven't... Is there anything, like, around here? Like, is there another room? If there is... I'm certainly not seeing it. So that brings up the question of, is there a room that I missed something in? Like, there's a lot of detail on this screen, but nothing is standing out to me. Usually, if there's something to take or something to interact with, it stands out more in this game. But on this particular screen, the only thing that we really interacted with was the body. This person's days of answering questions are long gone. And I cannot get, of course. And I cannot... Yeah, I can't move it. I cannot go there. I can't open it up either. It's burnt. We know that. Oh, okay. Well, I mean, it didn't vanish. Like, I was looking at this sort of dark green thing, and I clicked on it. I guess that's not actually the web. That's just, like, part of the thorns. So I didn't even see the web. I just clicked on this thinking it looked like it was standing out a little. A very strong, sticky piece of large spiderweb. Well, I think we can guess what we do with this. I think we can guess. That one was kind of odd. That one really did blend in with the environment. Here we go. You really gonna throw it up there? Wow, that is some arm, Peter. That was an impressive throw. Maybe Peter is a shot to this whole superhero business after all. He's heading up there. He's climbing. There we go. And he was hurrying up there. Okay. Studded with metal nodes, the wooden faces of the imposing double doors are streaked by stains of corrosion. Flickering with the vacillation of power, the eye's sigil forms the ornament's arcane centerpiece. Colored a soiled ruby and enhanced by an intertwisting... is that a word? Intertwisting serpentine accent. The narrow carpet overlays the center of the causeway's approach. Sundered by a confused network of cracks and cavities, the desolate rock landscape extends like a wasteland to the horizon's severely distorted curvature. All right. Convolutedly twisted about the upper door frame, an artistic weave of thick wire conducts a susurrant flow of power. Getting out the thesaurus for these descriptions. Loosely patched by strands of cloud, a red nuclear glow irradiates the sky in lurid gradation from the horizon to the firmament. I like how many things in this game are described as lurid. Alright, can I open this? Traditional means of entry seem to be invalid here. Alright, well, can I talk to it? No response. Can I talk to the eye? No response. Can I get eye? I cannot take that. Can I move eye? No. Move door? No. Can I open this? The runner? Can I move? Yeah, okay. You pick up the key and the door mysteriously opens. Leaving a key, like a key beneath the welcome mat, always seems like a bad idea. Answering your knock, the immense door has granted admittance into a lightless corridor. We found him. We found the Drelmer. Easy dream, sleep deep with easy dream. Oh man, I could use some of that. Located atop a neighboring building, an animated neon display dynamically advertises a sleeping aid. The roof is surfaced in large blocks of dirt-stained brick. Terraced into vertical steps, the building's brick exterior progresses upward. Distorted by downward perspective, the City of Night's colossal towers seem to converge towards a common origin. Placed symmetrically opposite its twin, the stylistically sculpted stone lion growls in frozen frustration at Noctropolis City. Having turned away from her vigil at the parapet, Stiletto warily observes you. I mean, it's quite clearly the Drelmer. I don't know why we're calling her Stiletto. Let's, save. Alright, let's speak with the Drelmer.
So, have you discovered the answer to my little secret?
Was there a secret? Was I trying to solve a riddle or something? No? What secret?
How to escape a dream?
Sure, you just wake up, I suppose.
Not from my dreams, you don't. But I'll let you in on the secret.
Oh, that's nice of him.
Haven't you ever wondered what would happen if you actually died in a dream?
Well, no, because I have before. You just wake up. Oh, our hero. Oh, we did wake up.
What happened? The liquid dark seemed to boil. I thought you were dying. I didn't know what to do. I was so afraid I would lose you too.
Oh man, we were in boiling liquid dark. So did the Drelmer do anything? Like he made us not fight, but solve puzzles through his dream world, and then he woke us up, which was nice of him. But I thought he was here to kill us, probably. I'm not sure what happened. I'm alright. Just a bad dream.
It's inside you now. The darkness, it's flowing in your blood. Peter, I was wrong about you before. You are Darkshire.
Great, we have officially become Darkshire. We have certainly earned this. But the Liquidark heals me, Stiletto. It saved my life. Why does it scare you?
You saw me before, Peter. When Darkshire left, it destroyed me. Now you've picked up the pieces. Peter, I can't go through that hell again.
I don't know if I would describe what Peter did as picking up the pieces. I mean, okay, sure, he picked up the pieces. Stiletto, you know so little about me, but I've loved you longer than you can know. When my life crumbled, you lived in my dreams, but now you're close enough to touch. Oh, okay. Talk?
Hey, rookie. Shadowlair belongs to you now. It's your call, hero.
Okay, that's just the one that we've been getting. Move Stiletto? That won't move. Look at Stiletto. Still dressed in her provocatively stylized catsuit, Stiletto anxiously watches you from the shadows. Get Stiletto? You can't take that. Alright, maybe our conversation's over. It seemed like that was going somewhere. I guess not. Alright, well, the Drelmer dream is over now, I guess. I guess we can leave. Yeah, we're it's fine. Alright. Well, doesn't look like anything new has appeared. Whatever happened with those hostages at the Opera House? Whatever happened about that? No, nothing? Alright. I don't suppose I can talk to you about it.
Couldn't get me out of your head? That's all right, honey. I have that effect on men. The merchandise is still for sale, if you've got the cash.
There were like a lot of people tied up to chairs. The villain Top Hat was threatening to kill them. I don't suppose you know anything about this? Well, I still don't have any money, but maybe you might like some sausage. If
that's all you've got, forget it. That wouldn't get you a back rub.
Hey, this is prime sausage. Oh well. I'm gonna guess the priest still isn't back. The priest just seems to be out of the game entirely at this point. Yeah. Well, the path that... I mean, the only thing really that we were doing was investigating Cygnus. And then we were sidetracked by this whole Green Thumb, Top Hat, Drelmer trio. I guess we could just go back to Cygnus. I don't suppose I have anything that could be used here now.
I'll stay here and watch your back.
Like, I still needed to find something that could probably be used with this. Sausage? No. What about net? No. I guess we could just go around our usual routine, the usual locations, and see if anything changes. Is this guy here? That guy is still here.
Did you need anything else?
I don't suppose there's anything new on this list. Like, the butcher was like the last thing that came up on this list. No, actually, Whisperman was probably this guy. It's Peter Bornick. No, nothing new on the list of things to talk about. That seems odd. Leon's probably still dead. It's just sort of like the path that we were on. Yeah, he's still dead. The path that we were on just seems to sort of stopped. Well, Miss Shoto's still here.
Again, you have neglected to make an appointment.
Oh, maybe the conversation's different now. Okay, here we go. You lied to me. You know who's funding the Sunspire Tower. Tell me about the Whisper Man.
Where did you hear that name?
In the hell maze of Master Macabre.
Ah, yes. I've heard of Master Macabre.
Don't try to snow me. You're both in partnership with this guy, Whisper Man.
You can't prove a thing. Now get out of my office.
I said you can't snow me. I refuse to be snowed.
I thought I told you to leave.
And I thought I told you you can't snow me. You lied to me. I have a right to know.
You're right.
What?
The Whisper Man is my father. But step lightly, Darkshire. There are many webs woven here. You can't begin to understand.
Hey, I know all about webs. I used it to climb a dream tower. It's a different kind of web. All right, so that was easy. She's like, get out of here. No, I won't. Okay, he's my dad. You dragged it out of me, Darkshire. And you're the spider spinning it all together.
You can't prove a thing. Now get out of my office.
I said, no, you're spinning. You're spinning right now.
I thought I told you to leave.
I said, no, I have a right to know.
You're
all right, we're back to this. Okay. He's your father. Tell me all about it.
Perhaps it would be better if my father explained this himself. He's in Subterranea below this building. He is eccentric. It is protocol that you find him alone. I cannot offer assistance. It's his way of testing those who seek him out. Good luck, Darkshire.
Oh, there's a protocol for finding the weird hermit crime boss father. We have to find him alone. All right. Hey, we dragged the information out of her by just refusing to leave. You know, it's remarkable how far you can get in life just by refusing to leave. I guess the way we would get there is through here, right? If he's below the tower.
I'll stay here and watch your back.
Like, we'd have to open this, right? It's probably what the next thing to do is, but I don't know how. I don't think any of these items will do it. So this seems like it's probably the next thing to do. Some unknown mechanism. I don't suppose anything new appeared. No. We could always go to Sunspire Tower, see if anything else is here. I mean, Stiletto was back, so that means she can probably distract the guard. Yep, he's automatically distracted. This looks exactly the same. I don't think there's anything different here. Doesn't seem like there's anything that's changed. Unless we can open this. Doesn't seem like it. Well, nothing's really standing out. Suppose we could always talk to this guy. See if anything different.
Listen,
No.
I can't
No, it's
help-
nothing different.
You'll have to talk to Sam Jenkins to get clearance to come on this side.
Yep, we'll never get on this site if Sam Jenkins doesn't tell us we can. Alright, so we know we have to get underground. I don't suppose if we go to the Hall of Records if they might know anything.
What else can I do for you?
Do you have information on Whisperman? Yeah, he constructed the Observatory, but I wonder if we have to go back there for something. I don't think there would be anything else here. So this is the observatory. I suppose we could attempt to go back in. I mean, last time we were here, Stiletto wasn't with us, so maybe that could make a difference. But as for right now, let's just, just save. And I think we'll take a little bit of a break. We'll come back in a few minutes as we continue on with our quest to find the Whisper Man. Okay, well, we're not at the observatory. We're back in the hole, in the building hole, because it turns out there's something here that wasn't here the first time we were here. Do you see it? Because I didn't see it. But now that I know what to look for, I see it. A broken piece of an antique wooden chair. This wasn't here before. You grab a piece of broken chair. Yeah, these chairs were, this like wood stuff wasn't here before. Someone threw it down here while we were, like, after the first time we were here. Yeah. If I was more observant, I should have noticed this on my own. Piece of antique wooden chair. All right, I was thinking we need to throw something in this furnace. And we have wood that we could throw in the furnace now, so hey, let's do it. There we go. As you toss the last piece of chair into the furnace, the sewer grating slides open, revealing a seemingly bottomless, illuminated pool of water. And there we go. You just need to make it hot enough, and it opens up, and there's water. Let's go inside. Splish. Oh. The Whisper Man is a cartoon. It's weird how sometimes, like, there's just a cartoon in this. Kind of stands out among the rest. He also doesn't really look like a villain either. Let's look at him. Ghostly and ethereal, this Whisper Man's floating spectral image reacts eerily to an unrealized wind. So is he a ghost? Is Whisper Man dead? Intricately engraved, the ornamental jade vessel encloses an interior glow. Seemingly ignoring your passage, the water's placid surface appears undisturbed. What's on it? Oh, suspended upon the water's dark surface, the lotus blossoms promote the semblance of serenity. Located floor level, the pipe's slick surface is marked by the onset of corrosion. Damp with moisture, the sectioned concrete slabs are stained and worn. The narrow metal conduit intersects the concrete wall. Orifice. Connecting to an adjacent chamber, the circular portal ominously transects the thick concrete wall. Is it ominous? I wouldn't really describe this as ominous. Filled with darkness, the intersecting conduit matches the concrete wall in composition. Alright. Let's talk to Whisper Man. What's his deal?
You have done well, Peter.
Thanks. You sound nice. Are you actually a villain? Damn right. I'm Darkshear, and I demand to be taken seriously.
Shut up! Don't laugh at me!
I take everything seriously.
Are you also Flux? Are you the villain? It would be convenient if you're the villain.
No. Flux was my associate. I have severed my relationship with him. He proved to be unreliable. He has become obsessed with your death, with the destruction of Darkseer.
That coward has been sending Darkshear's old enemies to try to kill me.
Do not doubt that Flux will continue to seek your destruction, Peter. With the Darkseer and Liquid Arc technology, you represent a serious threat to his goal of conjuring quintessence. That is why he waited to initiate his plan until the last Darkseer retired.
Yeah, we read about quintessence in the tome. That's why the elements brought me here. They're afraid of what Flux could do with quintessence.
That is correct. But they, like myself, are bound to inaction by an oath of non-interference concerning the affairs of mankind. You, as Darkseer, must act as their agent to answer the threat Flux poses.
I mean, isn't that always the way? The powerful ones say, no, we can't do anything. Mankind has to deal with it themselves. All right, we're going to be Whisper Man's chosen one, I suppose. His Starman, so to speak. Oath of non-interference. How convenient.
It is a standard of conduct, Peter. We are creatures of duty, responsible for the perpetuation of ultimate power. Non-interference not only protects Elementia, but also insulates mankind from those who could be swayed to utilize quintessential power for personal gain. Flux must be stopped now.
Okay, so Flux is crossing the line by attempting to use the quintessence for his own power, and that is why we must stop him. I noticed someone in the chat asking a good point. So is Miss Shoto, like, half elemental? Is she, like, half god? She seemed like just, like, a human being, but I guess not. Also, I guess that when she was on the phone after the first time we met her, and she said, he was here, he's more impressive than we thought, I guess she must have been talking to Whisper Man. I don't trust you or Flux, but I know I must stop him.
Flux is in the top of the Sunspire Tower. It will not be easy to enter, for he fears intrusion. He will have the building heavily guarded. Traditional entry is not an option. Remember my sign, Peter. It will help you.
Your sign? What is that? Oh, are we done here?
Flux is in the top.
I guess we're done here. Alright, I need to remember his sign. What might that be? I don't suppose you have a sign somewhere. I mean, I don't see one. Can I, like, take these? No, I cannot take. Can I open? No. Can I move? No. Can I take Whisper Man? I can't take that. What is his sign, though? I do not see one. Are you hungry? No, he does not want sausage. I don't know if any of these things do you want my gold token? I don't know what this is. Oh, what is hold on. What's on the gold token? Okay, I thought maybe there might be a symbol on it. No. Like, I thought maybe his sign might be the token, but there's nothing on the token. I don't suppose there's a clue to that in the book. That's no? Oh, can I not read the book again? We read it when we first got it. But maybe we just can't read the whole thing again. I don't suppose your sign is the Noctroglyph. Like, it might be. That could be possible. Maybe this is his sign, but I don't know. I don't see this anywhere. Well, nice meeting you. I guess we know where we have to go. Too bad you weren't there, Stiletto. I met a ghost man.
Don't worry about me, Peter. You know I'll support whatever you've got planned.
Even though the last time I did that, I got a finger cut off. But I guess you're Darkshear and I'm not, so let's have at it. Let's go. Alright, Stiletto. Just to make sure there's nothing else open, nothing else available. No new locations. Sunspire Tower is where we need to go. I don't suppose you can say anything different.
Listen.
No, Sam Jenkins. Well, I'm supposed to climb this. There we go. I don't know how I might climb this. It's like this just looks like the same as it was before. Alright, we can at least get on the second floor. We're able to do that. And it doesn't look like there's anything else here. Like, unless we're able to, like, use this hoist to, like, raise it up, like, grab it or something, I don't know. We can't reach it, though. We can't take it. I don't suppose I can take any more glass. No need to take another piece of glass. Doesn't open. That doesn't open. That doesn't open. I don't see anything here that might indicate that we can travel anywhere. Unless we were able to, like, find a control panel for these hooks that could bring us up or something. I just don't think there is. Let's see. Can I look at this? No, I want to look at, like, that hose. Electric generator. Waits to provide power. But I don't think we were able to turn it on or anything. Yeah, it won't move. Open? Doesn't open. It just says it waits to provide power, but it doesn't seem like we can actually activate it. I don't have anything that, like, would be something that could activate. I don't know. It doesn't seem like I do. There's valves and other controls. Crowd the tank of the large compressor tank. Open. I don't think there's anything we could do with that either. And like I said, I don't think any of the items we have... I mean, net. Could we do something with net? If we go up to the second floor, can we use the net for something? No use of using that net here. Meat hook? No. Sausage? No. I didn't think so. Okay. So, we know we need to climb this tower, but we don't have a way of climbing it, is the problem. I don't see anything new here that might get us there. And this guy just keeps saying the same thing.
Listen.
Can't talk to Sam Jenkins. Alright. So I want to climb this tower. You know what actually would be useful? Like, could we go to the top of this tower and, like, jump? We can get to the top of this tower fine. And the CEO should want to help us, right? Like, we're working for her dad now. Like, there really shouldn't be any antagonism here, now that we have spoken to the dad, and, like, we're all on the same page, right? Can, like, she tell me how to, like, get to the top of this tower and jump to the other one?
Perhaps it would be
No, I
better if
found
my
him.
father explained this and
I already found him. I just want to know, can I, like, jump from the top of this building to the other one? That seems like the quickest way. I don't think there's anything I could look at here that would help with that. Like, there's no doors or anything here. And we don't know any other floors. So, like, when I use... Yeah, the only code we know is to get to Miss Shoto. And we use this elevator pass. And then it just automatically brings us down, saying no. We know no other codes. Could it be possible to get another code that would take us to somewhere else? Let's see. Appears to be designed to allow the secretary to monitor passcode entry to the restricted floors of the building. I use it? It seems like we should all be helping each other now. You know? Since we're all working together, as it turns out, we thought Miss Shoto was a villain. It turns out we're all on the same side here. So I should just be able to ask her about this. I do see some talk in the chat that maybe I should look up this logbook I took. I guess this was from the Observatory. I don't even remember what this was. Constellation of Cygnus. There's a strange series of numbers. 3, 2, 1, 8, 2, 7, 4, 9, 3, 12, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. I completely forgot that there were numbers in this book. Well, let's head in here and use the book. Using the coordinates you discovered in the logbook, you punch in the coordinates. All right, we're up here. I'm gonna save because I have no confidence in Peter's ability to maneuver this. Okay, Peter really has to hero it up now. Because, like, you know, he's gonna have to, like, do this zip line across from building to building. Located near the roof's entrance, mechanical ventilation equipment circulates air for the upper floors of the Cygnus building. Styled as an extended pyramid, the architectural cornice is washed by a projection of illumination from along its base. Pyramid-shaped, the severely angled metallic roof is corrugated by evenly spaced vertical mullions. Through the spacious window, the illuminated office of a Cygnus executive may be observed. Assembled like handmaids, what? The neighboring buildings seemingly worship the Sunspire's colossal presence. It's phallic, you see. This kind of just looks like the top of a house instead of a building. Although unoccupied, the upper office suites appear to have finished interiors. Generators and construction equipment are grouped on the terrace. Okay, the main thing that we're here to look at, this rope. Power line, actually. The power line conducts temporary electrical service to the floors of the Sunspire Tower. Can I move? You test the strength of the line with U-hand. It appears strong enough for anything you might have planned with U-hand. Okay. I think it's finally time to use this meat hook. Let's do it. Stiletto's like, you sure about this, Peter? I don't know. Fitting the meat hook over the insulated power line, you instruct Stiletto to hold onto your back. Using the power cord as a zip line, you slide downward to the Sunspire Tower.
It's a long way down. Let's be careful.
Careful is my middle name, Stiletto. Woo! We did it. So this is the unfinished stairwell. A repeating concrete form pattern marks the wall of the stairwell with a grid of seams. What's this? Duct tape, the most important item in any situation. A small roll of duct tape has been neglected on the landing. Peter really just should carry a roll of duct tape on his belt. All right, now we're a real superhero. Now there's nothing we can't handle. The unfinished window through which you entered looks down into the darkness of Noctropolis. Is that a thing? Yeah, a large coil of rope has been left on the steps. Let us get rope. Be careful, there's no handholds. Ding! Roll of duct tape, the handyman's favorite tool. An old but strong length of rope. Okay, let us proceed to climb the tower. Man, there's so many items for us here. No, not open. A long wooden-handled broom has been left on the landing. Warmly illuminating the landing with its glow, the freestanding task light is designed with a caged globe. We grab the broom and twist off the handle. Okay, we just want the handle, I guess. I don't suppose we can take this. No, we can't. A push broom with a long wooden handle. Alright, let's continue going up. Nothing can stop us now. Except, a dog. I wonder what a dog might want. Like I was saying, nothing can stop us now, except, anything? Like if a single person was trying to block our way, they'd probably succeed. A large dog stands guard at the door and barks loudly, announcing our presence. Good. Let Flux know that we are here, that we are coming for him. His time is up. His days are numbered. It's the entire reason why Peter went into another world. Other than to get away from his depressing real life. Alright, what do you think a dog wants? Maybe some prime sausage. You tie one end of the rope to the... Of course, as you do. What? Okay, let me look at this first. A few sausages tied to the end of a rope. Peter's becoming a true superhero. He's using that ingenuity. Let's use rope and sausage. You tie one end of the rope to the pipe and toss the sausage over the beam. What? Peter, I cannot condone that. I didn't realize that Peter was the real gritty kind of superhero, just killing dogs, just without a care in the world. All right, I guess Peter is the Punisher kind of hero who is just going to do what has to be done. Well, The rope hangs just out of reach. That won't move. What about this? That won't move. Do we... I mean, we clearly need to use this rope to get across. Do I use the broom? Yeah, using the duct tape, you handle the meat hook. Okay, no, 3 items being used. Duct tape, meat hook, and broom handle. And now I have broom and hook. A broom handle with a meat hook attached to its end with duct tape. Man, we're becoming a true superhero. We're picking up random items from the ground and combining them in ingenious ways in order to kill dogs. Let's using the broom handle and a hook, you were able to grab the dangling rope. Woo! We did it. Oh, this is fancy. Is it him? He just kind of jumped. Okay, no, there he is. Is that Ozymandias? He's not wearing his red robe.
Darkshear? It is you.
Could it possibly be? The betrayal. Stiletto, you must be mistaken. This can't be Darkshear.
She's right. I was your predecessor. But now you can call me Lumashir.
Is that really the best name? I mean, probably come up with something more catchy. Like the 2 syllables Luma doesn't really work. Like if one is dark sheer, the other could be, light sheer or bright sheer and sun sheer. Yeah. Anyway, his voice is echoing, indicating that he is full of light power. Let's see. Lumashir? What does that name mean?
It means that I am your nemesis. As you embody darkness, I embody light. And light is stronger than darkness. Light is the ultimate power.
I guess he's upgraded from dark to light. I've tasted the power of Darkshear. How could anyone want more?
You fool! You don't understand real power. The power of light. I have learned to distill light to its purest form. The quintessence of light. To accomplish this, I need your help.
My help? I won't help you!
But you've already helped me. In fact, your veins course with the very mixture I need to form the quintessence.
Oh no, have we been helping the villain this whole time? What mixture?
The combined fusion of your blood and Liquidark.
My blood? Why is that? Yes, Stiletto told me the Liquidark stays in my bloodstream.
And did she tell you you'd become its slave? Addicted beyond reason?
Well, I figured that out my own. Like, it feels pretty good when you take that bath. We've established this. I kept getting wounded over and over again, because I'm not very good at this. She saved my life.
Wounded indeed. Not an easy task to manage, considering the unstable character of my former enemies.
What does that mean? Were they not trying to kill me after all? Were they just trying to wound me and force me to bathe in Liquidark over and over? Manage, you've been behind this all along. You broke the criminals out of prison.
Of course I did. There had to be a threat posed, unanswerable by any but a new Darkshear. Unaware of my identity, the villains have served me well.
I mean, I guess it's a good thing he wore that hood, because everyone knew what his face looked like. But why did you need their help?
It was important to infuse your blood with Liquidark. And knowing that you'd use it to heal yourself, I arranged individual confrontations with each villain. The engagements were designed to leave you alive, but mortally wounded.
Wait, do you mean that Peter Gray could have been killed at any time? But we're Darkshear. We're the best hero. Well, why was it important to mix my blood with the Liquid Dark?
I learned that the blood of a person from your reality, combined with a small amount of liquid arc, provides the catalyst to create the quintessence of light when mixed with a large amount of liquilite.
Oh, is that what this is? Why, Bob, actually, how did you learn to do that? That's a good question. You said you figured out how to do that. How did you figure that out?
I was taught by a fallen elemental. When I demonstrated that the Darkshear technology was fundamentally elemental in nature, he graciously agreed to teach me more.
And that would be Whisperman, so Lumashir took advantage of Whisperman the whole time. The Whisperman told me how he taught you of Quintessia. He also explained how you double-crossed him.
I've only perfected a game I learned from him. Did the great Light Warden tell you how he got so greedy that the patronage threw him out and banished him from Etheria?
No, but I don't really know what any of this means. What's Etheria?
It's the elemental domain. As nearly as I can tell, it's a separate dimension that overlaps this reality. But I'm tired of this side track. It's time you fulfilled your purpose.
No, let's go back to that. What a separate dimension sounds interesting. I'm a comic book fan, so clearly I'm interested in all this lore. Can you just explain to me in great detail about the separate dimension? What happens now?
Now you'll offer me some of your blood.
I mean, what if I don't want to offer you the... No, I won't.
Don't be so sure. You see, now it's only a matter of chemical reaction. It's not necessary that you're conscious, or even alive, to introduce your blood to the liquilite.
Well, I mean, then you said I have to offer it to you, though. I mean, that doesn't sound like I have to offer it. Go to hell. You used to be my hero, and now this? You can go to hell.
You've been listening to that fool Desmond. There is no good or evil. There's only power, and those willing to use it.
Oh no, he's a centrist! Power without morals leads to chaos. Look, I cannot fight you. I have no physical ability, so I am going to have a philosophical battle with you and make you realize the error of your ways.
Exactly. And by its very nature, chaos yields more power. Power that will be mine.
I'll never let you have my blood.
Don't be so sure. You see, now it's only a matter of chemical reaction. It's not necessary that you're conscious, or even...
No, he already said this.
...to introduce your blood to the liquilite.
He's just making sure we know. Then why don't you kill me?
Because I hate you. I hate your morals and ideals. I want you to witness what you helped to create. A quintessence of power, independent of elementia. Then, when I hold the node of light within my hand, I shall obliterate you!
I have morals and ideals? I mean, I'm just like a comic book fan who just kind of hates my life and hates how everything turned out. So I came to this world just as a means of escapism because I couldn't deal with my real life anymore. I didn't know I had morals. Also, what's this node of light? Tell me more about it. Look, it's comic book lore. I need to know about the node of light so I can post on my message boards where we argue about which comic book character is the strongest. I need to know what the power of the node of light is, so when we do the Lumashir versus Superman death battle, I can know just how powerful Lumashir is. Let go.
At last, the quintessence is mine!
Did he just, grab blood from me? I guess. You couldn't really see very well. Oh, okay. Can I do something here? Lumashir's resplendent costume and impressive countenance do little to conceal his treacherously true identity as the original Darkshear. Aglow with shining splendor, the dazzling reservoir of liquid light is fed from above by a focused beam of illumination, but is drained now. Grotesque, stylistically sculpted in the gilded semblance of the sun, the huge grotesque ominously dominates the chamber's wall overlooking the pool of light. Oh, I didn't notice these sunflowers. Originating to either side of the sun grotesque, the line of gigantic sunflowers follows the wall's circular enclosure. Distillator. Artistically designed, the distillator condenses projected light before casting the concentrated luminary essence through an intensifying lens on the ray to the reservoir. So this is sunlight, since now that we're above the clouds, we're actually exposed to the sun. Finished in gold, the metallic mullion helps define the dome's hemispherical shape. I don't think there's anything else really to look at here. Graphically laid in a concentric pattern of irradiance, the chamber's floor is surfaced by panels of polished gold. Stiletto, what do we do?
I'm sorry, Peter. I don't know what to do.
She doesn't know what to do. Lumashir, what do we do? There seems to be no response. Peter, no. Well, I think we're trapped in here. We can't actually move around. Oh wait. We still have the ultimate power. The power that Lumashir does not have. We can save. Lumashir did not count on this. I'm gonna throw a clock at you. That doesn't seem to help. Well, I could throw my actual weapon. It doesn't seem to help. I'm gonna throw... What if I throw this net on you? Then you can't move. No. Okay. Well... We got this token back at the beginning of the game. It's like a magic coin, like our silver one. We don't know what it does. Yeah? What was that?
We will not allow you to further interfere with this man. He has proven himself worthy to assume the role of Darkshear. He has been our champion against you and your plot to usurp the natural order. You have broken many laws and trespassed the strictures of my patronage. Your crimes demand punishment.
Wow, I'm worthy to assume the role of Darkshear. It's news to me, but it's being confirmed by a higher power. Peter Gray is indeed worthy. I guess I summoned him with the coin. Oh, they're fighting! Oh, that did not last long.
We regret your involvement, but according to the oath of non-interference, we could not become directly involved until the integrity of nature itself was threatened. You have done well, Peter. You are Darkshear.
You know, no matter how many times people say it, I just don't feel like we earned it. Well, I mean, I guess if we're Darkshear, we probably should just use the same voice effect that Lumashir was using. What now? By using the portal token, I've no way to return to my world.
Just as your blood, the liquid arc runs in your veins. It is part of you now. The liquid arc allows you to belong to both worlds, Peter. You have the agency to choose between them as you see fit. But never forget your duty. You are Darkshear, the defender of Noctropolis.
Alright, so we could go back to the real world if we wanted to. We can go back and forth. So I guess we don't actually have to choose between the two worlds. Peter, don't leave me behind.
It is your choice, Peter. If you desire it, she may accompany you.
I want you with me, always. I wonder whatever happened to the quintessence of light. Also, we're totally naked. I don't know. And they look into the beautiful night sky. Oh, you can see stars. So I guess maybe is the cloud cover starting to recede? Because you can see the stars up there. But I guess we won, and we have made Noctropolis safe for the people again. Except, like, we didn't beat most of the villains. Top Hat, Green Thumb, and Drelmer are still around. Okay, there we go. Ooh, the new adventures of Darkshear, featuring a completely different person as Darkshear.
This used to be a wonderful city. The Dark One kept things nice and quiet. People could walk the streets in safety. Not anymore. All the worst goons are out. Again, and shit.
Right, and I suppose you're...
That was going the right direction.
You'll have to discuss that with the estate's attorney, Martin Sphincter.
Could have found up there and pointed a gun at you. You make one more sound, I'll kill you, though. Okay. We've got a mass murder homicide investigation going on downstairs. You people are disrupting our activities. We got heads and arms and legs laying everywhere down. In fact, we think the killer's still in the building. Ah!
Hold on. You know, don't you love going to the beautician and having
when they wash your
wash
hair?
it? You know,
Better than anything. Oh, and should massage your head.
Oh yeah, I got it. Great.
I know. It is.
God, we used to go on dates and then afterwards we go back to salon.
Lots better. It doesn't even compare. Really? I guess maybe you just had really bad sex. First, except for you. Okay.
Is this some kind of joke? Darkshear retired, and even if he did come back, he sure wouldn't look like you. Now scram, turd.
And it's nobody's business when I take a nap.
I'm Darkshear. Isn't Mr. Gray Darkshear? Yeah. Oh, okay. So I couldn't be him. Okay. Got it. I swear.
My hat.
What other chicks are in this video? Oh, what's your name?
Ain't no such law, butthead. You That's all right. Now get out of my face. All right. I bet you that sounds good. What'd you say? Okay.
More right down to and curve around. Yes.
You do it so well.
I don't have any of that. 17, pick number 1.
Ain't no such law, butthead. You kid. Now get out of my face. You ain't no cop. All right.
I don't know how it is.
You go like this.
Tools. Yeah, that's what I do. I fix things. Okay.
Well, he's got to react to tools. I mean, even an idiot knows. Some lady says, handle your tools. Come on, baby, I can handle my tools. Here's your tool right here, honey. Ever see Don Rickles? Here's your tool. Right here is your tool.
Oh, Peter. Oh. Okay, did you get it? Hey, if you want me to say it lovey-dovey, I can, but you guys are gonna have to be serious. I'm serious. Now I look like I'm crying.
You told us to be serious.
I can't! Don't do it! Hi. I just love a man who'll show me his weapon.
I want to do another thing.
Go ahead, holy man. Pull the trigger.
No, Martha Drake's son. I remember when Jim was alive. Won first place in the PTA reflections contest. Drew a naked lady. There's a big hoo-ha about that. Of course, I tracked him down later and bought it. Now Malou doesn't know. They've been in the bedroom drawer. Biggest breast you ever saw. Young Jim, he had quite an imagination. Of course, I've seen Aunt Bee naked before. That wasn't a pretty sight. Walked in on her in the shower. Yeah. Imagine the man that had to scale those was pretty tired when he got to the top. You need anything else?
The line is, don't look at me. You're the citizen champ. And are you with me?
Don't look at me. You're the city's new stud. Don't look at me. You're the city's new champion.
Yeah. Poor guy. I'm gonna laugh when I do that. Yeah. Poor guy. He's the one that hired me. No, we weren't ready. Yeah, okay. Oh dear.
Some of the clips are repeating, but then sometimes we get new ones. And the credits are like barely moving.
How's my tie?
I can't tell if we reached, if the credits
on
repeated.
camera, I'm representing the whole Mayberry police force.
I can't tell if this just keeps going.
Huh. A woman? You've a lot to learn about priorities. Physical pleasures pale against the ultimate lure of power, or the power of ultimate lure.
We're going to do a fishing commercial with that one. That was great.
Yes, I had Green Thumb gynecologically customize the plans for me. All right.
Okay, sequence 21, take 2.
Yes, I had Green Thumb generically...
They keep repeating that one.
I know. See, no, I'm gonna show you how to do it.
And sometimes there are new ones.
Got it!
Hold on, I think we reached the end of it. This is Night Dive. This is new. So those credits were not in the original game. I think we outlasted the credits. I think we did it. And that is the end. Just go back to the title screen.
And so it begins.
And so it begins. I was about to say, before the credits started, well, our story ends with, in the real world, the Darkshear comics continue with the new adventures of Darkshear, with a new character as Darkshear, which unfortunately means we know how Peter Gray's tenure as Darkshear is going to end. He's going to be around for like a year or two. The fans are going to hate it, and they are going to constantly moan about where the original Darkshear is. And then eventually there's going to be a storyline where Peter gets killed off, and the original Darkshear has to return to save the city. And then you just kind of forget that the new Darkshear ever happened. I'm sorry, Peter, but we know how this works. We know how it goes. This never works out, so things are going to go bad for him. All right, so that is Noctropolis, and, I mean, looking on the screen, like, we eliminated the Succubus, we killed Macabre. These three on the right, like, they get away. The Drelmer attacks us in the dream, and then, he's still at large at the end. Top Hat kidnapped and probably killed a whole bunch of people in the opera, and Green Thumb just vanished after tying us up with vines. So I guess there are still some villains for Peter to fight to defend the city of Noctropolis against. What do I think about this? I find it weird about how kind of pathetic Peter is. This game does not strike me as a parody. Like, it has some humor in it, but it doesn't really strike me as a parody of edgy 90s comics. It's like very much a power fantasy of a comic fan escaping from the real world and becoming his favorite superhero, but he just is so sad throughout the whole game. Even though at the end, the Elemental appears and says, "You have earned the name of Darkshear." And it's like, no, he hasn't. He has not. And like, this is only really made very clear when you confront Lumashir, and he just completely outclasses Peter. He just like points at Peter in stiletto and puts him in a cage, and grabs Peter and apparently just takes blood out of his arm or something. I don't know. And like, Peter can't actually do anything against this guy who was the actual superhero. And like, in comparison, you can see that Peter just can't do anything. And it turns out that Peter's entire quest was just to get into the same room as Lumashir so he could throw the token to summon the Elemental to kill Lumashir. But if Peter actually had to fight him, I mean, there's nothing he would have been able to do. Like, Peter just is not a superhero. He's wearing the costume, and he's able to solve puzzles, and he's able to kill a dog by using duct tape and a broom handle with sausage. No, it was rope and sausage. And, but as far as actually becoming a real superhero, it just never happens. It's weird. It's just like... So first of all, I know that I make fun of the game a lot, but I actually did like this game quite a bit. As far as point-and-click adventure games go, it has a good pacing to it. I like the background art. The art is very good in this game. That I always like it when a game incorporates FMV. So the FMV little windows and scenes that we got, I like those a lot. Some of the music was quite good. And I thought like the basic premise of the plot was interesting. So I like the game quite a bit, but the thing that just kind of confuses me is sort of the hero's path that Peter takes. So, okay, here we go. You're thinking about the hero's path, and you're thinking about how it always starts off with, like, the hero at home, and then maybe the hero has problems with their real life, and then something happens to put the hero on the path of adventure, and in this case, it's Peter's just depressed. His life is falling apart. The manual reveals to us that he's suicidal. And then, so he just wants some way to escape. And then he gets that way to escape when he gets pulled into the comic book. And he just knows that he has to become the new Darkseer. So, okay, he goes on his journey, which involves him just kind of, he meets a villain and he gets completely defeated, and we find out Succubus just could have killed him, but she was under orders not to kill him, just to wound him, so he would have to go into the Liquidark. He becomes Darkseer only because Stiletto brings him to the hideout and says, yeah, okay, put the costume on. Look, if someone wants to try to be Darkseer, I guess that's a good thing, so here you go. You've got the hideout, you've got the costume, here you go. Peter doesn't actually do anything to earn that, he's just given it because Stiletto just wants there to be someone trying to be Darkseer, so okay, you can do it, I guess, if you want. And so Peter, this normal guy who has no fighting ability or really any particular skill, I mean, he has some puzzle-solving ability, I guess. He then puts the costume on, and Stiletto agrees to go with him because reasons. And we continue to get outwitted and injured by a variety of villains, and it turns out they could have killed us at any time. So we only get injured, so we have to heal ourselves in the Liquidark again and again for Flux's plan. I never feel like there's a point where it's like, okay, now Peter is starting to actually become a superhero here. He just remains sort of a normal guy throughout the entire adventure. And even at the end of the adventure, when he comes face to face with the villain, Peter is completely powerless to do anything. All he can do is flick a token, and it turns out that that was his entire purpose, to get the token to Lumashir so the elemental could appear and kill him. And now that means he is truly Darkseer? He is truly this superhero who can defend the city because he did that? And I just don't see it. Like, if Peter, as we have seen him, if he like has to fight like Top Hat over here, he's gonna die. She could have killed him easily. At the end of this game, there's nothing that changed, which indicates that if he fights her again, that he's gonna win. If she doesn't have, if she's not under instructions not to kill him, she can just kill him real quick. And so Peter is just given the title of Darkseer, the name of Darkseer, and all of Darkseer's stuff, like his hideout and his weapons. Also his girlfriend, which is a little weird, but also Stiletto. And at the end, we're told that he has the option of staying in this world or going back to the other or traveling between them. And then we don't really see what happens after that. We just assume he stays with Stiletto. And I think the part about this I find weird is frequently the hero's journey will end with the hero returning to their life as an improved person, a better person. They've improved themselves over the course of their journey, and they've now they're now a better human being than they were at the beginning of the story. And because of that, they're now able to overcome the problems that they had in their real life at the beginning, because they're now improved. And I don't get that impression about Peter. Like, is Peter going to go back to the real world and face his problems head on with his failing comic book shop and his divorced wife? Is he going to do that? Because I don't think he's gonna. I get the impression that by the end, Peter is completely happy and content to have escaped from his problems and the real world, and he's just going to stay in Noctropolis as a hero that he has actually stolen the identity of, which is another weird thing. Like, when Peter becomes his best self, it's not him. It's someone else. It's someone else's identity. He never actually comes to his... Like, he never actually becomes a better version of Peter Gray. He just becomes Darkshear as a way to escape from being Peter Gray. And that, again, it's just a little weird to me that is how his hero's journey goes. That at the end, he decides that no, he wants to be someone else. He doesn't want to be Peter Gray. He's going to be someone else. He's going to be Darkshear. That's good, actually. It's also good that he doesn't go back to the real world and face his problems. That is also very good, that he gets to stay in his escapism world. Again, it's just a little weird to me. Like, if it's supposed to... So it's like a bunch of aspects of the hero's journey that goes incomplete. And again, if this is supposed to be just a straight juvenile power fantasy, Peter is not powerful. Again, he remains pretty pathetic until the end of the game. So I'm not... Again, I'm a little weird. I'm a little confused as to what the point was. Like, I don't know. Like, I'm trying to think about what I mean to say. Like, usually the hero at the end will come to some sort of epiphany about what it is they need to be, like the person they need to be. Okay, so like think about like Return of the Jedi. Luke's moment at the end is he turns his lightsaber off and throws it away in front of the Emperor. Like, that's his big moment, his epiphany where he realizes the path, right? This game doesn't have anything like that. Peter never has the epiphany about what it means to be the best version of himself and what it means to be the hero. There's nothing there. There's nothing there. And considering that this is a game... The reason that I'm going on about this is considering that it's a game about becoming a hero. It's weird that it doesn't really... It leaves a lot of that incomplete. Like, a lot of this just doesn't actually get resolved or have any sort of resolution. And that's just sort of the... I don't know. It's just sort of something that stood out to me as we were playing this. Again, I like the game quite a bit, in terms of the artwork, the basic idea of the game, the fast pacing. There's a lot here to like. It's just that I find their treatment of the hero's journey weird because I never believed in Peter. I never really liked Peter, and I never bought for a second that Peter is now a hero, even though we're told repeatedly at the end that he's a hero. We're told this, that he deserves to be Darkshear, and he just doesn't. He just really doesn't. I'm a little disappointed that we also did not get a final comic book at the end, like a comic book that has Peter as Darkshear, like we got at the beginning. I don't even know what it would be. What would the comic book be with Peter as Darkshear? Would it be they're being attacked by like Top Hat and Green Thumb, and then Peter has to send Stiletto to fight them, while Peter wraps a stick and a knife together with duct tape in order to solve a puzzle, or something like that. Something like that. Again, by the end of this game, I have no idea how Peter is supposed to be a superhero. I have no idea what he's supposed to do in an actual fight. He just really doesn't have that moment where he becomes a hero, where he becomes Darkshear. It didn't happen. But overall, I had a good time playing this game. I thought it was entertaining. I thought there was plenty of funny parts. There were some real good FMV parts, like, again, when you first meet the priest in the confessional, and you meet him by him pointing a gun at you and yelling at you. There's some pretty good parts. There are some pretty good parts. Oh, and the part where Peter got beaten up by Stiletto. That was also very good. The Butcher. The Butcher was I like talking to the Butcher. The Butcher was pretty good. So this game did make me laugh a number of times. And I had a good time getting through it. And I hope you did too. But I guess that means we've come to the end with our time with Noctropolis, as Peter has saved the day. Saved it from what? I don't know. I mean, Lumashir never actually said what he wanted to do with that power. Maybe it was something good. I don't know. Maybe Lumashir was just trying to break out of the dogmatic structure that the elementals had set up and was trying to benefit all of humanity with that. Look, I don't know. We're told he saved the day. And I guess that's all we have to go on, as Peter resurrects the legend of Darkshear. But I guess we're not actually done yet. We do have the strategy guide to look through, so maybe we'll just take a few minutes and come back as we peruse the official strategy guide for Noctropolis. All right, let's have a look at the official Electronic Arts hint book for Noctropolis, Night Vision. Thank you to Kim Stein for sending this to me, so we can take a look at. I mean, we didn't actually need too many hints when we were playing this, but let's have a look. Very frightening. There's some good flavor text in this. Let's head to... Okay, so general hints. We're getting some questions about what you're supposed to do as you're going through the game, like in the bookstore. I'm sick of being here with nothing but a shorting light to keep me company. What can I do? It's an interesting place, don't you think? It shows a lot of your character, which may not be a good thing since you want your customers to come back. You should at least scan your mail before you leave it out in the open for all the world to see. You have to admit, your taste in decoration revolves around a certain theme. What's your favorite reading material? It might be nice to find a comfortable spot to relax and read something. So it's telling you, in its way, to read the comic at the beginning. What's the kid from Twin Peaks doing outside my door? If short people on your doorstep are enough to freak you out, you're going to have a rough time. It's pretty certain that she won't bite, at least not through a closed door. She might even have something interesting to say. Be polite, try to be useful, and she'll probably help you out in return. How attached can you be to things you just leave lying on desktops anyway? So you have to give her the raffle ticket. Again, it's giving you hints on what to do without saying it outright. The days turned out really weird, but I'm still standing in my shop with nothing to do. There must be something on hand that's interesting. This may be the last time you're bored for a very long time. Yes, you should definitely develop a nervous habit, just as a token of your ennui. Nervous habit? Well, it says token. Flip the token, I guess, to create the box that takes you to the Noctropolis world, I suppose. So this strategy guide, it goes on for quite some time. Like all the locations. For Stiletto's apartment, I feel stupid standing in front of this techno-Egyptian door. What am I supposed to say? It is true that Stiletto does reject us a lot when we first try to talk to her. Let's see. Yeah, this might just be the entire game. Oh, the Observatory. Enough already with the guards on their flashlight beams! I certainly can't figure why there would be guards in an observatory in a world with no sky. If I take 2 steps, I'm grabbed by invisible guards. What's the secret? The secret is clear and simple. Don't let them see you. These guards have been on duty way too long, and they never vary the pattern of their light beams. Figure out the pattern and walk when they won't be able to see you. There are a few blind spots on the floor, by the way. Yeah, it does mention, why are there guards in the observatory? I think we asked that question, too. Also, I need a screwdriver. What kind of utility belt is this that it doesn't have a screwdriver? Can't complain about not having something when you walk right by one and don't pick it up. But it is a good point. Why doesn't Peter Gray's utility belt actually have anything in it? Anything useful? He has his, grenade, and that's basically... He has his Noctroglyph. He could really just use some basic tools, though. This is the maze. Then Drelmer's Fun Park. It really is a short game when you look at it like this. When you look at each of the rooms that you go into and what you have to do. This is like a walkthrough. Like, basically, it's vague hints for every room in the game. I can't get past the dog. I can't even get near the dog, so I guess we're both safe from each other. Is there any way to outmaneuver him? Not in so many words, although you can maneuver him out of the way. What do you have that he wants? Where could he go that isn't in your way? Which is down, just all the way down. Like, some of the artwork we got here is nice, like this. It's just basically the just portraits saying what each of these icons represent. Items that you must get to advance the game. Oh, okay, now there's a walkthrough section that just flat out tells you what to do. Bookstore, go to office, look at letter, get last issue of Darkshire, go to main room, talk to front door, get package, use silver token. Yeah. So this is okay, I guess you weren't interested in the walkthrough at the beginning of the guide, in which we were just sort of giving vague hints as to what to do. Here's the real walkthrough, where we're just going to tell you step by step as to what you need to do, because apparently you didn't want to solve any puzzles. Oh, here's the puzzle door. Move the pegs to the correct slots. Begin with a fresh version of the puzzle. Move them in this order. 9, 2, 6, 3, 8, 5, 2, 8, 4, 1, 9, 10. Like, there you go. It's right there. Vigil's End. Okay, so now there are descriptions of each of the locations, and it has, like I said, this has quite a bit of flavor text in it, so I guess we can start from here. So, Peter Gray's bookstore is Ex Libris. That's the name of his comic book store. Not just... Oh, it says a used bookstore. Maybe it's not just comics? Is it just used books in general? Whether you're a collector, a reader, or just a browser, Ex Libris is the perfect store for you. We offer an elite selection of rare and hard-to-find books at thrift store prices. Ask about our professional rare book search service. Our searches are guaranteed. If we can't find the exact book you want, there's absolutely no charge. Do they search, like if they find the book, then they charge you for it? I guess. Like, if I ask them if they have a book and they don't have it, I wouldn't expect them to charge me for that. Anyway, Ex Libris will buy your old hardbacks and paper books. Students, we have used textbooks. Of course, they'll be useless to you because your professor will require you to have the updated version, but we have the used ones. Ex Libris also offers a complete selection of new and classic comics, special discounts for regular customers. Cygnus Comics' a specialty, Darkshire and Stiletto, Foxfire, Lady Elastia, best stock of classic Cygnus back issues in the city. Comics, comics, comics. Oh, Peter's wife is named Corey. They never say her name in the game. Here's the bookstore office. Municipal Power and Light. Final notice. Peter Gray, Ex Libris Books. According to our records, we have not received payment on your electric bill since 2/6, making your account 7 weeks past due. Please remit $432 immediately in payment for January, February, and March electrical services. Be advised that if payment in full is not received by close of business 4/5, your electrical service will be terminated. Furthermore, if payment in full is not received by the above date, your past due account will be turned over to a private collection agency, which will immediately instigate action to collect the full amount, plus fees and penalties. Such action could have a serious and permanent negative impact on your personal credit rating. Thank you for your prompt attention to this matter. If you have already mailed your payment, please disregard this notice. Catherine G. Kincaid, Accounts Manager. Ha! Let's see that private collection agency try to collect when Peter Gray no longer exists in this world. Joke's on them. Peter Gray's running away from his obligations. The Main Street, excerpt from Downtown Spotlight. Every downtowner knows that the whole city center is blessed. Some might say glutted. No one would say that. With a plethora of lunch places. Every block, it seems, has its own personal assortment of delis, bistros, grills, and 3 or 4 different ethnic specialties. The lunch cognoscenti, however, know that the absolute best lunch downtown can be found parked out in front of the Compton Tower between 9 and 6 daily. I'm referring, of course, to Tony's Wiener Cart. Tony's Wieners. For the perfect lunch break, go to Tony's, order a deluxe coney with the works, chips and drink for $3.75. Then on your way back to the office, stop across the street at Leo's all-night newsstand for the daily paper or the latest issue of your favorite magazine. By the time your lunch break is over, your body and mind will both be refreshed. And even if you're downtown after Tony goes home for the night, stop by Leo's anyway for a healthy dose of wit and wisdom from Happy, the nightman at the newsstand. If you want to follow up your lunch with Tony's to something a bit more dignified, there's really only one option for dinner: the dining room at the Ritz Hotel, the place for the Noctropolis elite to meet and greet for almost a century. The opulent Ritz was the first luxury skyscraper erected in Noctropolis after the catastrophes, and is still going strong today. The fare at the Ritz consists mostly of steaks with traditional fixins. But what steaks? Fat, fork, tender, and perfectly cooked to your specifications. You just don't see meat like this anywhere else in town. Unfortunately, the Ritz is not for the faint of heart or the lightened pocketbook. Dinners start at $32 for the chicken with pasta and can go high as $90 for the surf and turf, depending on the current market price for the lobster. A jacket and tie are an absolute necessity, as is a reservation, unless you're on the maitre d' special list, meaning you're a member of the city's creme de la creme. Ooh, fancy. If you wanted to know more about the Main Street and, like, these places you see in the background, like it says Ritz right there in that building, we never actually can interact or go in there. Hall of Records. The magnificent Hall of Records, conveniently located downtown on Main Street, is the newest and perhaps proudest jewel in the crown of bustling Noctropolis. The Hall of Records provides to all official and authorized clients a complete database of all Noctropolis citizens, businesses, and civic records past, present, and future. The secret behind the Hall of Records is the astonishing Nocto 4000 supercomputer, the most sophisticated data retrieval system ever devised by man. Created especially for the city of Noctropolis by the late genius Dr. Emil Doderbund, the Nocto 4000 has been described as years, maybe decades ahead of anything else on the hardware or software horizon. Macrocomputer Quarterly, Summer 49. So advanced and efficient is the Nocto 4000 that it can automatically record and collate the whole city's daily business with the assistance of only a single file. Clerk on duty, 24 hours a day. No wonder he looks so tired. The magnificent Hall of Records itself is a breathtaking adventure of monolithic Gothaus architecture. Designed by international prize-winning artist-architect Desiree Blyden, the most outstanding feature of the building is certainly the colossal servo-automaton in the main gallery. Guided tours are available from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. daily, except Mondays. For information on business access accounts to the Hall of Records archives, contact the Noctropolis Commercial Council. What an impressive computer! Processes so much data. Can look up anything. Here's the cathedral. From the Book of Light, the prophecies of Phaeton, chapter 11. For a dark man shall come unto the house of God, and the darkness shall be upon him, yea, even within him. Yet for a time shall he stand with the warriors of God, they who stand as wards against the encroaching evil. And the dark man shall come unto the priest of light, and he shall seek sanctuary in the house of God. And they shall take counsel together, and each shall find his helpers, the priest his wards, and the dark man a maiden with hands darkened in the blood of the unjust. Then for a time virtue will triumph, and justice shall prevail in the city of night. And the unrighteous shall tremble, but the righteous, yea, they shall rejoice. But the heart of the dark man will be sore burdened, for he shall feel both lust for illumination, and the terrible hunger of the dark, for the dark, yea, in full measure, and it may be that he shall fall before this test, and yield himself to the supplications of evil desires. But fear not, O ye righteous, and yield not unto despair, ye beloved, in the sight of God. For even should it come to pass that the dark man shall fail in his charge, then the lords of the darkness and the lords of the light not fail to raise up a new champion in the sight of God, and so it will be until all these things be done. Okay, so according to this, Peter Gray is endorsed by God himself. Not just the elementals, like everyone is on Peter's side, apparently. Could have fooled me, but that's what it says, and I'm not gonna I'm not gonna argue with the Book of Light. Who am I to argue with that? Amen. Here's the confessional. Here's the Mausoleum. Excerpt from Spooky Sites of Horrible Hauntings, your ghastly guide to the ghosts of Noctropolis. Published in Noctropolis Monthly. It shouldn't be surprising that, according to ghost watchers, the old civic mausoleum is a veritable private club of Noctropolis' most elite deceased citizens. Probably the most famous ghost reported in the mausoleum is the shade of the third mayor, Bartholomew's Wingate, the notorious inquisitor who in the course of his single term executed more than 150 citizens, most of them political enemies advocating duty-free exports, on charge of necromancy, until he himself was tried and executed on charges of gross and felonious abuse of office. These days, few take seriously the old legends that say when the Wingate family crypt is entered by anyone opposed to export duties, old Bartholomew's coffin shoots out of its niche to crush the poor, foolish reformer. More plausible, however, are the ongoing reports that the marking plaque on Bartholomew's niche tends to inexplicably fall off every couple of years, often shattering on the marble floor below. Despite constant efforts by the Wingate family to employ ever more secure techniques to affix the plaque, mausoleum employees still find it on the floor every so often, sometimes several feet from its setting. The last reliable report of a plaque detachment that this reporter could track down occurred 7 years ago, but the Wingates declined to comment when asked if there have been any more occurrences since then. Almost as famous as the old mayor, in death, if not in life, is the legendary White Lady of the Mausoleum, described as a beautiful dark-haired girl in a white shift, nightgown, or negligee. Reports vary. The White Lady usually appears to young men walking alone in the rougher parts of downtown. She's said to ask the young gentleman to escort her home, then lead them to the side entrance of the mausoleum, where she vanishes, sometimes with a word of thanks, sometimes with a kiss, and sometimes into thin air. There is also darker stories where it's the White Lady's companion who does the vanishing. Well, apparently there's a legend of the White Lady, but apparently, I thought that the succubus possessing the nun was a recent occurrence, and certainly not long enough to cause a legend. But then again, maybe whenever the succubus possesses a woman, maybe the succubus has the same taste in clothing. Epitaph in the Noctropolis Mausoleum, Rebecca Ann Davidston, June 22nd, 16 to November 11, 33. Beloved daughter, here let her truly rest in thy eternal peace. O Lord, keep thou at bay the hungry spirits of the night. Forbid those who seek to rouse the abandoned bodies of those that sleep. Here let our daughter lie, and rise not until that day when thou shalt call her to stand before thee. You know, if I was in a graveyard looking at tombstones, and I saw one of them that said, "Oh Lord, please don't let her get up again. It's like, that's an odd thing to say. It's an odd thing to put on someone's tombstone. Please, we don't want her to come back from the dead. Like, we think that maybe there's a chance that she might become a zombie or something. So, please, God, please don't let that happen. Like, okay, I mean, I guess. Sure. The Cathedral. From Detective J.R. Levitt's NPD to Andrew Harvar, Assistant Police Commissioner, date 3/16/50. Re Susan Amelia Cowper, a.k.a. Stiletto. Mr. Commissioner, attached, please find the brief you requested on Stiletto. Description, age 24, height 5'5", weight 105 pounds, hair blonde, eyes blue. Criminal record, juvenile arrests for trespassing, malicious mischief, shoplifting, minor under the influence. One juvenile felony for conviction for assault with a deadly weapon, served 7 months of a 2-year sentence in juvenile detention. Personality, Stiletto is remarkably intelligent, much more so than she displays publicly. She's deeply cynical and prone to sudden acts of callous cruelty, but is totally fearless and intensely loyal to her few friends. No known hobbies, drinks heavily, fiercely loyal to and protective of Darkshire. Biography, Susan E. Cowper was born third of 3 children to Matthew Ivan Cowper and Amelia Susan Smith Cowper. Neither Mr. or Mrs. Cowper nor their 2 sons have had any significant criminal record. A major disruptive influence from her earliest school days, Susan apparently became involved with subterranean youth gangs at about age 11. Not content to take the submissive role traditionally prescribed for girls in the gangs, Susan practiced martial arts and knife fighting intensely in order to assert her place as a gang soldier. Shortly after her 14th birthday, Susan was initiated into the Traitors, a particularly violent multiracial gang. At this point, she acquired the name Stiletto and embarked on the most intensive period of her criminal career, participating in numerous illegal gang activities. The NPD, however, wasn't able to make any serious charges against Susan Stick. In her 16th year, Susan apparently became disenchanted with gang life and began to distance herself from the Traitors. Her grades and conduct in school improved markedly. However, when a former boyfriend was killed in a drive-by shooting from another gang, Susan confronted the assassin at a concert and attacked him with her 2 knives. Only the intervention of 3 members of the ward's youth club saved the victim's life, and he was hospitalized for several months after the attack. Susan was sentenced to juvenile detention until her 18th birthday, but after 7 months she was released on the recommendation of her counselors into the care of her family. For the next 2 years, she led an apparently normal teenage life, continuing to stay out of trouble and get good grades. Then, a few weeks before Susan was to begin college, her family was taken hostage in their home by the criminal mutant Drelmer, aka William X. Dawson. He and 3 of his accomplices were fleeing, having just accomplished an armored truck robbery. Susan contrived to retrieve her knives from her room and killed 2 of her family's captors before she was mind-controlled by Drelmer. She was forced to watch while Drelmer's remaining henchmen slaughtered her entire family. It's unknown why Drelmer allowed Susan to live when he escaped from the Cowper home. It was immediately after the murder of her parents that Susan met Darkshire, who was pursuing Drelmer. She assisted in the apprehension of Drelmer, and shortly thereafter made her debut as Stiletto, Darkshire's sidekick. In the years since her vigilante career, she has established herself as a gifted crime fighter in her own right. She has developed a particularly intense personal rivalry with the villainous Top Hat, Cynthia Burrows. Conclusion: it is true that in the course of her crime-fighting career, Stiletto has killed 4 perpetrators and injured at least 17 more. However, each of these incidents has been investigated by the NPD and determined to be justifiable homicide, either on grounds of self-defense or to protect the life and limb of innocence. It is my opinion, Mr. Commissioner, that Stiletto represents no danger to the community or the police department as long as she remains under the patronage of Darkshire. In other words, we really like how she kills the criminals. She kills them real good, so, maybe just let her do her thing. It makes it easier for us. Anyway, so quite a bit of backstory for Stiletto. Just learning a bit more about what makes her tick. Shadow Layer. Okay, from the doctrines of Noctropolis, and if there be a quintessence of illumination, so there must also be a quintessence of obscurity, for the base forms take their respective natures from the eternal forms of the quintessional elements, so it follows therefore that the existence of the base form implies the existence of the eternal form, even as the existence of the eternal form compels the existence of the base form, for it is known that all things which exist in this material world, and in those material worlds which are not of this world but which nonetheless possess material existence, are but reflections of the eternal and elemental verities, diluted and combined in various solutions and admixtures of their respective qualities. Yet there are those who say there is no quintessence of obscurity, for darkness hath no existence until itself, but only by existence of virtue of the absence of light. Yet those who speak foolishly, for the eternal principles cannot be diluted in their own nature, but only through the admixture of other extant principles contrary to that nature. That is to say, if the nature of darkness were but the absence of light, there would be no darkness, for light cannot be absent save in the presence of another principle which contraveth light, and that principle is named darkness. Therefore it can be seen that if there is no quintessential darkness that would quintessential light pervade the universe, so is the quintessential of obscurity established, yet even so, ... That is one sentence. Presumably, there would be more if we were to see the entire doctrine. Well, I think we have all learned a lot about the Shadow Layer and, Noctropolis. We learned a lot. The Bornick Mansion. This never really came into play. We learned that the husband was killed, but I don't know. It never really seemed like this mattered. Noted Noctropolis entrepreneur and philanthropist Peter Bornick was pronounced dead on arrival at Noctropolis General Hospital Tuesday. He was 53. Bornick was found by an employee at 9:35 p.m. at a Bornick Company construction site on West Dimsdale. He had apparently been inspecting the site alone when he sustained a fall of at least 12 stories. According to hospital records, death was instantaneous. Police say there is no evidence of foul play. A native Noctropolin, Bornick was the son of Dr. Richard Bornick and his wife, Hester. Hester? Is that a name? Bornick graduated from Noctropolis Polytechnic with a master's degree in mechanical engineering, and after 3 years working for Samson Development, founded the Bornick Company with a loan from his father. The Bornick Company was the primary contractor for numerous city and corporate buildings, including the Noctropolis New Library, the Polytechnic Coliseum, and the DeQuero Towers. Bornick remained president and CEO of the Bornick Company until his death. In addition to his professional activities, Bornick was also a prominent local philanthropist. Together with the local champion Darkshire, Bornick established the Aurora Foundation, a charitable corporation dedicated to making grants to needy individuals and low-interest loans to small businessmen in an effort to rehabilitate the inner city. He also sat on the boards of several important charities, including the Hospital Fund, the Library Foundation, and the Community Chest. Bornick is survived by his wife, Julia Bornick, and his mother, Hester Bornick. A memorial service will be held Saturday at 10 a.m. in the cathedral. The family requests that gifts in the Bornick's memory be donated to the Aurora Foundation. So, we find out that this guy was murdered, and we talk to his widow, and we find out that this guy was going to build the Sunspire Tower, but since he's dead, someone else took the project over. But we never actually do anything to try to solve this murder. I mean, I assume Lumashir killed him, right? I guess that would have to be it, but never really comes up. Here's the Sunspire Tower. From Businessman's Week magazine for 1751. Noctropolis business scene was shocked last week when the word went out that the most sought-after building contract of the year, the Sunspire Tower project, had gone to an upstart newcomer on the local scene, Cygnus Construction. The Sunspire Tower is nothing short of the most ambitious architectural assignment ever undertaken in Noctropolis. Almost a mile tall, it's designed to actually penetrate the cloud layer, giving long-benighted Noctropolins a glimpse of sunlight. In addition to providing residence and offices for Noctropolis' most elite citizens, the upper levels of the Sunspire will contain a castle, so the gargoyles on top will also be exposed to the sunlight. The solarium will be open free of charge during designated visiting hours or by appointment to school children, civic organizations, church groups, etc. Since it was announced over 5 years ago, the Sunspire project has been tantalizingly mysterious. It is financed by Sunspire Limited, a mostly anonymous consortium of local investors and entrepreneurs. An even bigger mystery is the identity of the architect. The groundbreaking design is pseudonymously attributed to Fiat Lux Design, an entity that apparently does not exist as a corporation. There's been much speculation as to the identity of the creator or creators of the project, which international architectural journals have called astonishing, unprecedented, amazing, groundbreaking, and gloriously insane. Needless to say, there was a good deal of grumbling when this contract went this big went to an unknown quantity like Cygnus. Right up until the winning bid was announced, building industry scuttlebutt said that the Bornick Corporation, a prestigious and long-lasting local firm, had the inside line on the deal. Peter Bornick declined to be interviewed for this story, but James R. Waldrop of Waldrop Construction Services didn't hesitate to speak for the Noctropolis construction community at large. "Yeah, it's a slap in the face," he told BW. "You live in a community as long as most of us have. Provide jobs, do good work. It's not right to give a job this big to some out-of-town startup operation. They don't like outsiders here in Noctropolis, I guess." Inside the fence. But Marvin Haley, attorney and spokesman for Sunspire Limited, and the only publicly known officer in that company, was equally frank in explaining how Cygnus got the job. They had the best bid. It was open bidding, and Cygnus beat the nearest offer by a decisive margin. So they lowballed him. I guess, that's all. Haley decided to decline to attach any more specific figures to Cygnus's decisive margin. He did, however, say that Sunspire was not worried about Cygnus's unknown status. "Well, sure, that's something we thought of," he said. "Everything else being equal, of course we prefer to work with an established local company. All I can say is we checked out Cygnus very thoroughly before accepting their bid, and everything we found out about the company only made us more eager to work with them, especially that weird guy wearing the gold who, controls light. He has an echoey voice. He's pretty rad. And anyone can see by the way that they built their own headquarters that this is a quality operation." Indeed, the 99-floor Cygnus building is impressive. A state-of-the-art high-rise, its design combines elements of Art Deco and traditional Japanese Zen architecture. BW went there to find out more about Cygnus and its plans for the future. We spoke to Vanessa Yukiko Shoto, president and CEO, and Sam Jenkins, chief of operations. "Forgive me, Miss Shoto, but you don't look much like a Vanessa." "My given name is Shoko Yukiko. I added the Vanessa when I came to work in this company. And that was just a few years ago, I believe. Yes, when we formed Cygnus. Before then, I'd never worked in this country." "But you were educated right here in Noctropolis, weren't you?" "I obtained my MBA at Noctropolis University, yes." "And you spent the next 12 years working for various Japanese concerns. Tawanara Systems, Kurosawa, Akane, various Japanese names. Finally, 3 years as executive vice president of Todai Technosystems. And then you decided to form Cygnus? Oh, no, Cygnus was not my idea. I was approached by the investors and asked to launch the new concerns." "Who are those investors?" "They prefer to keep their identities confidential. However, they include a number of very powerful businessmen in this country, as well as Japan and even Europe." "And you, Mr. Jenkins, how did you come to Cygnus?" "The hard way. Ha ha!" "I came up through the ranks. Started out as a high steel worker at 17, saved up enough money working summers to put myself through engineering school, worked as a foreman, did a little contracting, a little design, then I got offered a cushy desk job." As usual, Sam is too humble. His resume is quite impressive. Can we turn our attention to the Sunspire project? Of course. 2 years ago, you came to Noctropolis, you built yourself a multi-million-dollar building, and immediately bid on the biggest project the city has ever seen. Seems like remarkably good timing. The timing was quite deliberate. Cygnus was formed with the express intention of building the Sunspire. Really? And you had no doubt you could win the contract? None whatsoever. We knew that we could undercut any other company's bid by at least 15% with no loss of quality. And how did you do that? New technology, new techniques, new materials. Cygnus isn't just another construction outfit. We're going to change this industry from top to bottom forever. There are elements in this building that most engineers have never dreamed of. Climate control, security. We have this dog. It'll bark at you if you try to go up the stairs. Why, just the lighting systems alone took a team of engineers. But of course, this is not the place to discuss the technical details of the project, Sam. Don't you agree? Can't you be more specific? Sorry, not yet. We figure right now that Cygnus is at least 5 years ahead of any other company in the country. We want to hold on to that edge as long as we can. You'll forgive me if I say that those are some pretty big promises. Damn right they are, and we intend to deliver on every one of them. Sunspire is a project like no other, and needs a company like no other. That's Cygnus. What about those local contractors who feel shut out of the Sunspire project? Cygnus means to be an asset to the local economy, not a drain. We don't see ourselves in competition with local contractors. We consider ourselves an international company, and it's our position that we are the only company in Noctropolis with the necessary resources to fulfill the Sunspire contract adequately. An international company? Does that mean that other countries exist in Noctropolis? Like Japan? Like, does actual Japan exist in this world? Like, I'm not really positive on the state of the world of Noctropolis. Like, is it just a city, or, like, does the rest of the world exist outside of it? It's hard to say. Certainly not. Noctropolis is our home, and we intend to remain here for the foreseeable future. The building should be ample evidence of that. However, while Noctropolis shall remain our central headquarters, after Sunspire is completed, Cygnus will be taking on projects all over the world. We've already had several inquiries from Europe and Asia, but for the moment, we want to concentrate our resources on the Sunspire project. Thank you both very much for your time. No problem, not at all. Thank you for coming. So, a bit of information about the construction of the tower. However, it turns out that I guess Flux was heading the project, but then he betrays them at some point, because Cygnus is still building the tower, and Shoto is the Whisperman's daughter. So I'm not really sure why they're still building the tower if Flux has turned against them, and the reason for building the tower is so Flux can gain sunlight and become Lumashir. Not positive about how that works. That's a bit unclear. Why don't they just stop building it? Here's the elevator. Here's Miss Shoto's office. Here's the greenhouse. From Greenhouse Life magazine, June 38. An interview with Mr. Horace Bartholomew, curator of Noctropolis' Central Park greenhouse. Dr. Bartholomew, thank you very much for taking time out of your busy schedule to talk to us. Yes. It's a great honor to speak to a scientist of your stature. Yes. Could you please tell us about the purpose of the Central Park greenhouse? The purpose of the Central Park greenhouse is to preserve those plant species indigenous to the Noctropolis area. Because of the darkness. Yes, of course, because the cloud layer prevents a sufficient quality of solar radiation from reaching many of the local plant species. The greenhouse offers a controlled environment where specimens can flourish, to be replanted once the clouds dissipate. I suppose so, yes. How many species are in the greenhouse's collection? 14,577. Exactly. Tell me, Doctor, I suppose the Central Park facility uses a number of fundamental gardening techniques that an ordinary household gardener might find useful. Oh no, I don't think so. No? No. None at all? Not that I can think of. But surely there are certain principles that apply equally to all gardeners regardless of scale. I think not. The greenhouse is a scientific institution. We're all highly trained botanists and technicians. It's not like we're growing pansies and strawberries in an aquarium in the cellar. We have 14,577 species of plants, you know. Exactly. I see. Doctor, I believe that in addition to your duties as the curator of the greenhouse, you also remain active in botanical research. Oh yes. Yes indeed. Research is always my top priority. Can I ask you about some of the projects you're currently engaged in? Go ahead. What are some of the plants you're currently working on? Well, there's Droseraceae, bromeliads, capsern, and of course, Arthrobotrys. I'm sorry, I'm afraid I'm not acquainted with all those species. Meat eaters, carnivorous plants. Of course, that must be fascinating. It is. It is. What precisely are you studying about these plants? Oh, you know, basic genetic experiments, trying to get a larger, hardier strain. Why would anyone need a larger Venus flytrap? Well, pest control. It's pure science, I assume. And of course, there's always the intelligence question. Intelligence? Plant intelligence? Oh yes, carnivorous plants are very intelligent, you know. The intellectual elite of the plant kingdom. My, look at the time. I really must be going. Of course, Doctor, but first, could you explain about... No, sorry, no time. Good day. Thank you. And I'm sure you could figure it out that this would be Green Thumb before the horrific accident that turned him into Green Thumb. Here's the Opera House. From the Rabbit's Hole column of Professional Magazine's quarterly newsletter, 844. If you were at the International Prestidigitators? Now, is that a word? The International Prestidigitators Convention in Noctropolis last month, and who wasn't? I agree that those of you who caught Cindy Burroughs' professional debut at the Saturday Night Showcase were talking about it the next day, and if you didn't catch it, you heard enough about it to kick yourself the next day. Well, the rabbit caught Cindy's show, and let me tell you people, believe the hype. Just barely 20 years old and still a sophomore at NU, Little Miss Burroughs already shows all the earmarks of being one of the greats. Not only is she drop-dead gorgeous with an unbelievable stage presence, she's also one of the most innovative illusion designers this profession has seen in decades. Most magicians today, and the rabbit doesn't exclude himself from this category, are just applying new coats of chrome to tricks that have been standards for 75 years. That's not the way the new girl operates. Cindy's doing things that have literally never been done before. One possible secret to Cindy's innovative approach: she's an honor student in physics. The wonders of science. However, Cindy's show is no sci-fi special effects fireworks display. Cindy told one of the rabbit's little bunny friends that she put together her whole act for less than $1,000. Of course, it helps when you build most of the equipment yourself. Give this girl a budget, and the sky's the limit. The rabbit will gnaw off his own left ear if she doesn't have her own primetime special within 5 years, and you can quote that back to me. I'd say 2 years, but Cindy seems determined to finish her degree first. Like any real pro with a new shtick, she's not talking about how she achieves her techniques. In fact, the rabbit himself overheard one of the biggest names in the industry. He probably paid good money to see his movie last year, and regretted it afterward. Ho-ho! Offers Cindy a cool $10,000 for her exploding cake routine. Why didn't we get to see the exploding cake? Incredibly, Cindy turned him down flat. When the rabbit was a starving student, he would have happily sold you his mother for the price of a pony keg, but Cindy's made of sterner stuff. Which brings us to the other thing you probably heard about Cindy, that for a newbie, she carries a really serious attitude around with her. She raised more than a few stodgy eyebrows at the convention with her bald-faced claims that she was going to single-handedly turn this art on its ear. A lot of the old nannies at the convention were saying Cindy's pretty little head was already too big for her top hat. And what does the rabbit say? He says, "You go, girl. Magic is not an art that thrives on modesty and polite reserve. If Cindy thinks she can rebuild the whole thing from the ground up, this rabbit says let her try. From where I'm sitting, it looks like she's off to a great start." So, okay, she had a promising career as an illusionist before she turned to a life of crime. And we do know that she's capable of literally teleporting people. We don't know how she does that, but she teleported both Stiletto and Darkshear at points in the game. So, yeah, I mean, it's an impressive trick, however she does it. I guess it's with physics. Physics. From the Noctropolis News. Oh, punk gangs. Time to read about the punk gangs. Just how long is the city government going to sit around in their big black chamber doing nothing while wild mobs of young hooligans terrorize the city from their underground rat hole hiding places? The criminal teen gangs that lair in the so-called subterranea are a civic disgrace and must be dealt with immediately. Subterranea, the underground remains of the pre-catastrophe Noctropolis, is the local headquarters for the most Noctropolin drug trafficking, prostitution, extortion, and robbery. It's where the scum goes when the light of civilized society shines on it too brightly. Police estimate that some of the subterranean gangs number as many as 500 members strong. The police don't know the exact numbers because the police don't go into Subterranea, where they're outgunned and outnumbered, and who can blame them? Since the problem has been allowed to grow beyond the reach of the police, the city needs to resort to other means of dealing with this scourge. Why hasn't the city petitioned the governor to call out the militia to clear Subterranea through military action? If the governor won't send in the troops, then Noctropolis needs to hire top-quality professional mercenaries to get the job done. Whatever it costs, it can't be more expensive to city pride and welfare than allowing the current situation to continue to fester. And once the Undercity has been cleaned out, it must be sealed up tight so no human vermin can slink back in once the military moves out. Only when this has been accomplished can Noctropolis once again lay claim to civic pride and hold its head up as it takes its rightful place as one of the great cities in the world. Only when this has been accomplished will Noctropolis have a civic government worthy of the name. Oh, the funny part is whoever wrote this meant it to be a parody. Oh dear. Simpler times. Let's look at the Whisperman's legacy. The budget controversy stirred up by the recent elections have revived one of the greatest ironies of Noctropolin life. Why does a city constantly covered with an impenetrable curtain of dark ash maintain a civic observatory? It's a complicated story, and a sad one. We'll get to it in a minute. First, however, to answer Selectman Unger's charges against the mayor, let's make it clear that not 1 cent of taxpayer money goes to the maintenance and upkeep of the observatory. The city observatory was the lifelong dream of world-famous Noctropolin physicist and astronomer Dr. Emil Whisperman. So, apparently he was also a human in addition to being an elemental? I'm not sure. In addition to his scientific brilliance, Whisperman was also a remarkably rich man, having parlayed a small family fortune into a very large personal fortune through wise investments. About 5 years before the catastrophes, Whisperman, in his early 70s, created the Whisperman Foundation to fund the building and operation of an observatory on Grimley Knoll. As planned, the building was to be a state-of-the-art facility featuring a Newtonian-type telescope with an 88-inch main refractor mirror. By the time the observatory was finished, the first tectonic rumbles were already starting to shake the ground. But nobody suspected how bad the situation would become. The observatory had been operating for only 4 months when the first major eruptions hit. Much to everybody's surprise, the building, built from a design by Dr. Whisperman himself, survived the catastrophes with no major damage. This was little consolation, however, since by the time the major eruption subsided, the ash layer was firmly in place. Whisperman, whose health was rapidly fading, closed down the observatory, but refused to abandon it entirely. He amended the Whisperman's Foundation's mission statement to include the protection and preservation of the Noctropolis City Observatory until such a time as normal operations may resume on a regular basis. So, a major financial foundation designed to fund a substantial percentage of a fully observational observatory became a fund to pay for that facility's maintenance and security. It's not surprising that maintenance and security can be absolutely top-notch, and all without touching a cent of your daughter's hot lunch money, Selectman Unger. So, a little bit of backstory as to, why is there an observatory, and why are there security guards? They have a whole article here to explain to us. Also, I guess the catastrophes were volcanic eruptions, is what it sounds like. And that created an ash layer in the sky that cut the city off from the sun forever? Just never went away. Dynatech. Worst building fire since catastrophes. 34 dead in Incarnate Inferno. A late-night fire last night resulted in the total destruction of the Dynatech building and the loss of at least 34 lives. According to fire department spokesman Ernest Duvall, the blaze began about 2:20 a.m. on the 43rd floor. That floor houses the Incarnate Industries division of Dynatech Technology, a section of the company devoted to high-tech research and development. Witnesses and survivors said the mysterious fire spread with astonishing speed. By the time the fire engines arrived at 2:32, the entire structure was consumed in flame, and at 2:51, the top 38 floors of the buildings collapsed. By 4 a.m., the blaze was extinguished, but the building was a total loss, Duvall said. Neighboring buildings sustained only minor smoke damage from the blaze. 8 Dynatech employees in the lower floors of the building at the time of the blaze were able to escape to the street, but it is estimated that at least 34 people, and possibly as many as 42, lost their lives in the fire. That count includes 19 Incarnate technicians working on the 43rd floor at the time of the fire. At the press conference held at 4:30 this morning, Duvall said there was no evidence of arson. He also said that the Incarnate team on the 43rd floor were known to be working on a high-energy project, and the fire inspectors were investigating the possibility that the fire was a result of a failed experiment. An official determination of the cause of the blaze was expected within 24 hours. Built only 4 years ago, the Dynatech building had an estimated value of $3.2 million, making this the worst financial loss due to the fire since the catastrophes. The building housed all corporate offices of Dynatech Inc., which had an estimated net worth of $3.7 billion in the last fiscal year, according to Business Week magazine. More than 1,100 Noctropolins were employed in the building. Dynatech officials will say only that the company's response to the disaster is under consideration. Okay, so when I called Flux Ozymandias earlier on due to his costume, I guess that was actually quite literal, because apparently he had the technicians who were working on the high-energy project, he had them killed after they finished the project, so no one could know about it. So I guess that the Ozymandias comparison was actually a thing. Oh, the butcher shop, our favorite location. Find fresh meat? Visit the downtown butcher shop, UR Meat Headquarters. We carry a large assortment of the finest specialty meat products. Noctropolis' best prices on tripe, head cheese, kidneys, Tong Mountain oysters delivered fresh daily. Blood pudding out special. I'm assuming the misspellings are deliberate. Blood pudding out specialty, exotic international products, jellied brains, goose blood sausage, haggis, turtle blood. We've got it. Visit downtown butcher shop, the meeting place for happy meats. I want some happy meats. Master Macabre. Transcript of conversation 3/1751 between Dr. Helena Abignew, ascending psychiatrist, and William Blish, a.k.a. Master Macabre. Good morning, Dr. Blish. Hello, Helena. You look simply delectable this morning. Thank you. How are you today? Bored out of my mind as usual, but then I suppose that as far as you're concerned, I'm out of my mind regardless of whether or not I'm bored. You don't feel you have enough recreational activities? I don't feel that I have the right kind of recreational activities. A trained and educated mind like mine needs more than the soap operas on the Rec Room TV, you know. Perhaps I could let you have some different books or magazines. Do you have any special requests? Perhaps some professional journals? Perhaps. I have some psychological and pediatric reports that I might loan you. They're a little out of your field, of course, but I think you might find them interesting. Abnormal psych? No, clinical studies mostly. Not interested. Come now, Helena. You know where my tastes lie. What would you like then, doctor? Pathology, surgery. I am a surgeon, you know. Maybe some trauma studies, autopsy reports? No, William, I'm sorry, but you know that we've decided that such stimuli would not be good for your therapy. We didn't decide anything, Helena. You made that particularly silly decision all by your pretty little self. Come on, Helena, have a little heart. It's not like I'm asking you to loan a few patients for a behavioral study. William, you know that's not possible, and you know why. Now, would you like me to select some Texan journals that are consistent with your therapy? You and your journals can go to hell. I'm not interested in your damn stupid rat-running reports. I'm a real doctor, damn you. Getting angry won't help the situation any, William. Don't call me William, you stupid bitch. My name is Dr. Blish. I'm a doctor too. Why don't you call me Dr. Abagnale? You call yourself a doctor? You're no doctor. You're just another pissant head shrinker. How long has it been, doctor, since you've darkened the door of a real operating theater? As a matter of fact, just 2 weeks ago, I assisted with a neurological procedure conducted on another patient of mine. Brain surgery? Really? Perhaps I underestimated you, Helena. Was it an open skull procedure? Yes. And did you do the knife work yourself? No, I assisted. The saw then? Did you open him up? I think that's quite enough questions about that particular incident, William. Let's move on. Just give me a few of the significant details. How'd the patient get through it? He's doing fine, but I'm not going to describe the procedure to you any further. We have other things to do with our time. Please, Helena, just a couple of minutes. What about professional courtesy? You know why we don't want you obsessing about surgery, William. I'm not obsessing. I'm a scientist. I'm interested in professional procedures. The subject is closed. Have you had any dreams lately? No. Yes. I had a dream about you, Helena. Is this a real dream, William? Or are you just trying to provoke me? Oh, it's a real dream, all right, but it's quite intimate. Think you can take it? This isn't a contest. Erotic dreams about casual acquaintances are quite normal, even more so in a doctor-patient relationship. You can tell me about the dream if you want to. Oh, it was quite pleasant, really. Very romantic. We were in your high-rise apartment overlooking the city, sipping excellent champagne. Do you live in a high-rise, Helena? That doesn't matter. This isn't really me we're discussing. It's just a dream image. Of course. Well, that is, the dream you were wearing a backless gown of deep crimson with a single strand of perfect pearls around your neck. I was wearing a white tie and tails. We were looking down on the lights of the city. That does sound like a pleasant dream. And then we kissed, and you took my hand and led me to the other room. Am I embarrassing you? Not at all. Erotic dreams are nothing to be ashamed of or embarrassed by. I have some young friends who might not agree with that, but be that as it may, you took my hand and you led me into the bedroom and you lay down on the table. Table? What? You said that is the woman in your dream, lay down on a table. Don't you mean the bed? No, it was a table, an operating table. The whole room was an operating theater. You lay down and I strapped you in. Really, Helena, you know about my little preferences. All right, go ahead. I took up the instruments and cut off your gown with the scalpel. When you were naked, you looked up at me and said, "Keep going." So I made the incision and began to peel back the skin. You were in ecstasy. There was no pain? Of course there was pain. Exquisite pain. That's the glory of it. The blood, the screams. Ah, Helena, the bliss of it all. I could look into your eyes and see it was the transcendent moment of your life. The moment when agony and ecstasy come together to produce ultimate sensation. Ah, my darling, you're such a beautiful scream. I think that's quite enough. I see the session is almost over anyway. But what's the matter? Got too hot for you? Should I have boulderized my little fantasy before sharing it with you, my dear? No, not at all. I appreciate your candor. However, I'm concerned that you may be overstimulating yourself. Am I the one getting overstimulated here? Or is it you, Helena? Did I touch something in you that you don't want to face? No, that's not it at all. I think you really would love it, Helena. And I think deep down inside you know you want it. That's quite enough. Someday I will have you under my knife, Helena, and we'll see if you're really as cool and proper as you pretend. Your session is really over, William. Please return to your room. I can't wait to hear that beautiful scream in real life. I'm calling the orderly, William. Leave now or I'll have you medicated. And don't try to hide from me, you stupid slut. You know you want me, and you know I'm going to have you. You're going to scream for my knife someday, bitch, and I'll make you scream for it. At this point, the patient's remarks become incoherent. Orderlies arrived, sedated the patient, and returned him to his quarters. I think we mentioned previously that of the villains, Master Macabre is basically the only person who doesn't start off as a good person and then becomes bad through trauma. He's just like bad from the beginning. From the Noctropolis News, the deformed and probably tortured corpse of an as yet unidentified woman was found last night in northern downtown Noctropolis, according to city police. Police reports state that the woman appeared to have died about 5:30 a.m. from injuries sustained in a fall or collision sometime before midnight. The body was discovered and reported 7:45 a.m. by an unidentified Noctropolis sanitation engineer. According to coroner's reports, the marks on the victim's body indicated that she had suffered severe internal injury in a collision with a car or other large object, or, more probably, a fall of no less than 25 feet. There were no open windows or exposed roofs on the immediate vicinity where the body was found, leading the police to theorize that she had lived for several hours after the accident, probably dragging herself several blocks before her final collapse. Although the marks from the fall or accident were the victim's only fresh injuries, the body was found with numerous severe mutilations in a healed or partially healed state, including a possible pattern of systemic torture over several weeks or months. The corpse appeared to have all of her teeth extracted, her right eye removed, several fingers amputated, and many scars that were apparently fire or acid burns, in addition to numerous other mutilations. The body was also unwashed, I guess that's something to point out, and in a state of severe malnutrition. The woman appears to have been Caucasian, about 35, brunette, 5'1", tall, and about 96 pounds at the time of death. She was wearing a soiled and tattered linen hospital gown. Police sources say that they are conducting an ongoing investigation into the identity of the victim and the individual or individuals who may have been responsible for her mutilation. Anyone who believes that they may have information pertinent to these questions should contact the Noctropolis Police Department's Violent Crimes Unit. I guess they're just really making sure that you know that he deserved to die. Like, he's, like, of the villains that we see, he's one of the... Like, we actually just see him get stabbed right on screen. I guess we also see Flux get decapitated, but, like, Master Macabre seems to be the one that they're really trying to make clear that he probably should die. Garbage Man finds freakish torture corpse sadistic monster still on the loose. That is quite a headline. That's not a headline you want to see. When Garbage Man Lance Kapowski reported to work last Wednesday, the last thing he expected to find behind the dumpster was an almost naked corpse of a hideously tortured, once beautiful woman. It was just horrible, Kapowski told the Tattler. She didn't have hardly no fingers left, like they'd all been cut off or something. And her eye had been gouged out. It was all scabbed over. There were flies and bugs and stuff all over her. I fought overseas, and I'd seen dead guys before, and some of them pretty messed up. I don't mind telling you, I almost lost my lunch. She looked like she was maybe in her 30s, Kapowski described as fine, and I guess she'd probably been a real looker before she got all messed up. She had real nice hair, even though it was all dirty, and she probably had a nice figure once, but she looked awful skinny and starved. I can tell these things, you know? Kapowski promptly notified the police of his discovery and was rewarded for his trouble with several hours of intense interrogation. At first, the officers kind of thought that I might have done it, like she was my girlfriend or something, and I killed her. The happily married Kapowski told the Tattler, but then the doctor's report came and said that she had been lying there for like 3 or 4 hours before I even went to work, so why would I kill her on the night before, then go out and dump her on my route, then pretend to find her in the morning? That didn't make any sense, so they let me go. In fact, the victim's death may have been a tragic accident. Police doctors say she suffered fatal injuries in a fall from about as high as 50 feet. She may have been deliberately thrown or pushed from a great height, or she may have been bravely trying to escape her torturer. Either way, after her fall, she managed to painfully drag herself for at least several blocks before finally dying of her injuries. That's why police don't know exactly where she came from. I just think it's a real shame, said Augusta Blozan, an inhabitant of the apartment building behind which the body was found. If you ask me, the cops should go search every building in the city until they finally find out what they did to those poor women. I think that somebody did that to somebody else on purpose, and they're still out large in the city. It's just scary. Local experts offer several different theories to explain the horrible crime. According to Reverend Robert Rackus of the Hallelujah Gospel Mission, she may have been the captive of a group of devil worshippers. Satanic cults often hold captives for several months, torturing them and using them in their unholy rituals until they finally murder them. This woman may have escaped because... because she knew she was going to be a human sacrifice. Reverend Roberts said that Satanists may kidnap and murder as many as 75,000 citizens every year. Wow, I had no idea. UFO expert Larry Darver had a different theory. Now, some of the saucer people, for unknown reasons, will kidnap humans and conduct bizarre experiments on them. They also mutilate cattle, much as this woman was mutilated. The reports say she fell from a great height, which to me suggests that she might have been dropped out of a low-flying saucer, perhaps while the occupants were on their way to pick a new abductee for their experiments. But psychic Sarai DeFrente, these are some good sources they're interviewing here, who's assisted the NPD with several major cases, says she's seen the torturer in her ESP visions. I get a strong impression of a lean man about 50 years old with cold, piercing eyes. He has a tremendous need to hurt innocent people. He gets an obscene pleasure from their pain. This woman was in horrible terror and pain just before she died. She definitely escaped. She wasn't murdered. I sense it was tremendously difficult for her to escape, but she went on through sheer desperation. I feel she was at peace when she died, knowing that she was out of the clutches of the man who hurt her. Whatever explanation proves to be the correct one thing is for sure: Noctropolis citizens will not sleep peacefully until the inhuman, torturing monster that lurks among them is at last hunted down and brought to justice. Okay, so I guess, due to the events of the game, it means people can actually sleep now, since he is dead. Now, there's a lot of pages dedicated to Master Macabre's, not even his whole backstory, but just this one murder. That is a number of pages. I guess they had to have enough text to cover all of the rooms for the maze. But we're done with the maze now, and we're on to Drelmer's Fun Park. What I See When I Dream by Billy Dawson, age 11. Dr. Wyatt told me to write about what it is that I see when I dream, so here it is. I always remember everything in my dreams. I remember that better than the stuff that I see when I'm up. Lots of my dreams are other people's dreams. I can tell when I'm dreaming someone else's dream when it's about boring or stupid stuff. Other people's dreams don't look cool like my dreams do, and there aren't so many colors. Other people's dreams are about naked peoples a lot. Those dreams are boring, even with the ones with pretty ladies. Even though they are boring, there's a cool thing about other people's dreams, and that is that I find out secret things about them. Like, I know that Miss Compton, the nurse, really likes Jerry the orderly, but Jerry don't like Miss Compton because he already has a girlfriend and he thinks she's ugly. I've had Miss Compton's dreams and also Jerry's dreams. I don't think Miss Compton is ugly because she is the nicest one and lets me watch cartoons. But lots of times other people's dreams is from peoples I don't know and I don't understand what's going on. That's just boring. I like other kids' dreams best because sometimes they're cool and we can play together. Note: an interesting ramification not previously mentioned. Wish fulfillment? Follow-up in session. GW. I had one of Dr. Wyatt's dreams once. It was a naked people dream, only the peoples was all kids and he was making them hurt. I don't like Dr. Wyatt. Note: this fabrication appears to be a retaliation by the patient for behavioral modification measures that I was forced to take a few days before the session. GW. Did not have the naked child dream, I assure you. Some of my dreams are special dreams. My special dreams are the dreams that I share with the other peoples. Most of my special dreams are very scary, but I don't do it on purpose. Note: there is growing evidence that the patient is able to project his dream images consciously and purposefully, at least some of the time. GW. People who are in my special dreams had better watch out or bad things will happen. Like sometimes people in my dreams get stabbed or squished or squeezed by Frankenstein or eat by a bear. Bad things don't happen to me in my special dreams, just to other people, but I still don't like it when they get hurted. Sometimes I try to help the people in my special dreams, like to make Frankenstein put them down or tell the bear to go away, but it's real hard and makes my head hurt. Note: the patient here implies a certain degree of control over his dream reality. GW. I think that when bad things happen to people in my special dreams, they really happen too. I used to have a friend named Eric who had the bed next to me, and we used to talk and play chutes and ladders and cards during free period. But this one night, Eric got into my dream, and he accidentally stabbed by this big piece of broken glass. Note the patient's emphasis on the accidental nature of Eric's mishap. Avoidance? GW. And when I woke up, he was yelling, and his sheets was all bloody, and they took him away, and they said he was getting better, but I think he's dead, because they haven't brought him back, even though he was my friend. Note, Eric Lawson was Billy's roommates for 9 weeks last summer. On August 11, he woke up with severe internal and external abdominal hemorrhaging. After a 9-hour operation, his condition was stabilized, although he remained in a coma for the next 5 days. At the request of the Lawsons, Eric has had no contact with Billy since this incident, nor has Billy been assigned any other roommates. GW. Not all my dreams are special dreams. Sometimes I just have ordinary dreams. Most of the time, my ordinary dreams are nice, like I'm at home, and mom and dad like me, and my head is not big, and I am big, and there are pretty girls who like me and won't to be my friend, but who don't try to kiss me or be naked or nothing gross. Some of my ordinary dreams are kind of scary, like with monsters and stuff, but they're not scary like my special dreams. Sometimes I have bad dreams, like I'm all alone and feel real sad, and those are the worst ordinary dreams, only they're still better than my special dreams. Dr. Wyatt wants to know if anybody in my dreams ever tells me what to do. There are things in my dreams sometimes, and they watch me and they tell me things, but I don't ever do what they say it, because they're just dumb dream things and they can't hurt me. The dream things are scared of me because sometimes I can hurt them. It's way easier to hurt a dream thing than to hurt a real people. It's still hard to hurt a dream thing and make them stop hurting other people. When they're hurting somebody and I hurt them, it don't make them stop, it just makes them madder. When I get bigger, I will be able to make the dream things do what I tell them to do, and they will hurt nobody unless I say so. Note, the air of calm certainty with which this prediction is made is extremely intriguing. Observe also how the patient reserves the right to hurt people when it suits him to do so. GW. When I'm in other people's dreams, I try to sometimes make things happen, but it hardly never works, and it makes my head hurt. I can't never make nothing happen in my ordinary dreams, but that's okay, except in the lonely ones. Dr. Wyatt says to say if there's anything in my dreams that happens over and over again. There's lots of stuff like that. There's lots of clowns in my dreams, and there's usually bad monsters. I don't know why all the clowns in my dreams is bad, because I know that real clowns are nice, like Bippo, the big top clown, on the cartoon show on TV. Dr. Wyatt says lots of little kids are scared of clowns, but I'm not scared of real clowns even when I used to be a little kid. Bad dream clowns either want to do something bad, like to hurt somebody, or something bad is happening to them, like they're in a fish tank and drowning or something. Sometimes I see cats in my dreams, and cats is nicer than clowns. I like cats because they talk to me and tell me things. The cats don't come out and talk to me when there are other people's in my dreams, but only when I'm alone. That's also why I like cats. Because I know if there's cats, then I'm all alone and nobody will come into my dream and get hurt. I have dreams about spiders, and I do not like them because spiders are scary, especially when they tie people up and suck out their innards. Spiders got eggs, and they put the eggs in people, and then baby spiders come out and eat them up. That's real gross and scary. I see the devil sometime. But he is not real scary like spiders or even the clowns. The scariest one is all is Frankenstein. Dr. Wyatt wants me to write more stuff about Frankenstein, but I won't. Not all the scary stuff in my special dreams is monsters. Like, there's this car that follows me around sometimes, and nobody is driving, and the door opens like it wants me to get inside, only it's dark in there, and I'm scared to do it. Sometimes in my normal dreams, I dream about cars too, only those are cool, fast race cars, and I'm driving them, and I can go wherever I want. Those cars are cool and not scary like the ones in the other dream. There's music in my dreams, and it is the same music, but I don't know how to write it. There aren't no words. I can sing it. Sometimes the music changes when something scary is going to happen. You're just like on TV, but sometimes something really bad happens and the music just keeps going the same. And that is even more scary. Most of the times I have dreams when I'm asleep, but sometimes the dreams when I'm awake too. The dreams I have when I'm awake are usually other people's dreams. Sometimes when I'm really bored, I try to make myself have a dream when I'm awake just for something to do. But most of the time when I'm awake, the dream just lasts a little bit and it's hard to figure out what's going on. It's super time now, and I'm not going to write any more stuff. So he is not going to write anymore. Okay, so a little backstory about the Drelmer. I don't know what... Oh, supper time, right. Supper time. So we know that he was... he had solitary therapy inflicted on him, which was probably a bad idea. We know that from the manual. Cygnus Construction. Excerpt from the Concise Encyclopedia of Mystical Symbolism. Ooh. The swan. The swan symbolizes beauty, grace, majesty, wisdom, courage, and illumination in both the Western and Oriental traditions. The most conspicuous occurrence of swan symbolism in Western mythology is the myth of Zeus and Leda, where the gods seduced the queen while wearing the form of a swan. The product of this union was the woman Helen of Troy, who would become the most beautiful woman who ever lived. As a fitting form for Zeus, the swan symbol is evocative of the beauty, majesty, and potency of the chief god. In certain Oriental traditions, the swan is even more ubiquitous. Non-Western swans are often auricular beasts, giving wise counsel to those in need and pronouncing prophetic judgment against the ignoble. The swan is most central to the elementalist cults of Japan and central China. More than any other single animal, the swan stands as the symbol for the quasi-divine elementals themselves, and in particular for the luminarchs, the champions, heralds, and avengers of the elemental hierarchy. One of the more explicit functions of the swan symbol in elementalist myth is as a representation of righteous vengeance. Alright, we're getting backstory for why Cygnus is represented by a swan. Swan images are pervasive in elementalist art and architecture. Traditional elementalist temples and schools often have swans painted or carved on doors, shutters, stairwells, and other apertures or entrances. These swans are believed to bar evil entities and malign influences from the structure. The association of the swan with the constellation Cygnus, aka the Northern Cross, is ancient and transcultural. The elementalists believe that Cygnus is the birthplace and stronghold of the elemental race, where they still preserve a kingdom of perfect natural harmony, and from which they coordinate the natural balance of the entire universe, or, taking into account the complex and peculiar cosmography of the elementalists, universes. Cygnus is also viewed by the elementalists as the source of all quintessence, the primal archetypical forces that permeate the universe, combining and recombining in various admixtures to produce all change and all the myriad realities. Certain interesting, if highly speculative, modern theories have attempted to draw parallels between the mythical quintessential source and Cygnus A, the most powerful radio source in the known cosmos. The implications of these theories is that the ancient elementalist may have, through some lost technology, known about Cygnus A as a powerful node of cosmic forces, and therefore identified it as the quintessential emitter. There's a lot talking about this, and the only thing I'm really thinking about is, why did the Whisper Man live in a sewer? Like, why did he have to live there? I mean, I guess it didn't bother him. He seems to be a ghost. Still, you wouldn't want to live in a sewer, would you? Darkshear's farewell address to the people of Noctropolis. So we saw that he did give this farewell address in the comic. We can see now what exactly he said. Thank you, Mr. Mayor, my fellow Noctropolins. It is with gratitude and profound humility that I stand before you today. I have heard the day's events described as a celebration of my exploits, and as a farewell, addressed to me by the citizens of this great city. Today is indeed a day of celebration, but I cannot consider it a celebration of my exploits. Rather, today we celebrate the cleansing from Noctropolis of those perverse and bizarre predators from our society. Although I have been privileged to have a part in this victory, the victory is not mine alone, but ours altogether. I have proudly fought these many years, but I have never fought alone, nor has my brave companion Stiletto been my only ally. Throughout this long struggle, I have done my part side by side with the police, the mayor, the selectmen, the wards, and most importantly with you, the free and lawful citizens of this great city. This battle is one which we all fought together. This victory is one in which we all share. Though we have won a great victory over evil, the war against evil is never ending. Noctropolis continues, as every great city must, to struggle against those human vermin who savagely prey on their innocent fellow citizens. This is an honorable battle, and I pray that God will be with you in it, but I cannot share it with you. Years ago, when I saw the city begin to spawn strange creatures of evil intent, I took it upon myself to become a strange creature in turn, a beneficent monster, if you will, to stand between the malevolent monsters and the ordinary citizen. Today, the malevolent monsters have all been dispelled, and so it is time for the beneficent monster to recede as well, for our great city is not a city of monsters, but a city of people. So then, it is to the people that I commend the ongoing struggle, to the wise men of the government, to the valiant men of the police, and to you, the honorable citizens of Noctropolis. This city is my home, and you, its people, are all my family and my comrades. It pains me deeply to leave both it and you, yet I know that if I remain, I shall always remain a monster among you. They say that Noctropolis is the city of night because it is masked from the rays of the sun, yet I say that Noctropolis is a city of light, and that radiance emits from you, the good people of this city. For too many years I have turned my face away from that bright spiritual light so that I might oppose the creatures of the darkness. That darkness entered me and became a part of me. In many ways the darkness strengthened me, but it also threatened always to consume me. Now that I find having turned away from the light within Noctropolis for so long, I can no longer turn towards it. The habit of darkness pulls too strongly, therefore I must leave the warm glow of Noctropolis and seek a new light, one which I can embrace and call my own. And that is why, my friends, we must say goodbye. I am sated with the darkness and hunger for the light. My soul yearns to bask in the warmth of illumination. I leave Noctropolis, not because there is no light in the spirit of this magnificent city, but because here there is no light in it for me, for I have made the darkness too firmly my own. It is now time for me to seek a new light, and let it burn the darkness from my weary and benighted soul. My night is past, a new day dawns. Think of me fondly, my friends, but do not regret me leaving. I go to face the dawn in a new place, and you remain to create a dawn here. You are, each and every honorable citizen of Noctropolis, the sun and the soul of the city. You are the light that illuminates the city of night. I must vanish one last time into the darkness, there to seek my own light. When I have found it, then we shall be reunited, and our lights shall shine together. I look forward, dear friends, to the bright morning when our lights shall combine. On that day we shall together drive the clouds of darkness forever from our skies, and we shall walk hand in hand into a new darkness of eternal and glorious illumination. Man, there's so many mentions of light and dark here. Could be a Kingdom Hearts game. And we've reached the end! It's the official Noctropolis hint book. How lucky do you feel? How evil. Why does it say that? This game doesn't have a morality system. You don't get to choose between good and evil, you just solve puzzles. Noctropolis is a city where only the lucky, the evil, and the well-informed have a chance of success. This intriguing computer game about an ordinary guy becoming a comic book hero is no cakewalk. Plunged into a world of violence and complicity, you must reclaim the City of Night from psychopathic horrors. Night vision can help. Night vision gives you the information you need without giving you more than you need. If you just want a helpful hint or two, you can find useful, but not overly explicit advice for every important location in the game. In addition, there are 2 tables, one more detailed than the other, listing the location of every crucial item and curiosity you need to finish the game. But if you're totally lost, you can go to the complete start-to-finish walkthrough, which tells you exactly how to finish the game in the most efficient way possible. Alternatively, you can check out the game screenshots of every building and room that you need to visit, which show you exactly where to find everything you're looking for. Plus, there's plenty of fascinating facts and background on Noctropolis and its strange denizens. Alright, well, that was a lot of flavor text. I mean, that's neat that they wrote so much lore for this. To, flesh out various aspects of the game. That did take a while to read that whole thing, but we got through it, and now we know the rest of the story. All of it. The rest of it. But I guess there's really nothing more to say about Noctropolis. I think I already said all of my opinions about Noctropolis before we started the strategy guide. And I've been talking for a while, so I do think I am going to have to say goodnight. I hope you enjoyed this playthrough of Noctropolis, featuring, again, a fairly pathetic hero, which I guess makes sense as we follow up Quantum Gate 1 and 2, which also featured a fairly pathetic hero. It's kind of a thing. I don't know if that's something we'll continue on with pathetic heroes. It could be an interesting theme. But we have finished following the path of Peter Gray, as he just wasn't able to deal with his real life and escaped into the world of fantasy where he could be the superhero that he always wanted to be, but clearly was not capable of being. And that's Noctropolis. Have a good night.